Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 14 of the Bonfire Race League Premier Cup Series. We have defending champion Jason Landry trying to defend his 13th, or I should say Season 13 champion here, and we're at Kentucky Motor Speedway to get this season started. I could not be more stoked to be here. My name is Zach Panzarella, and I've got two dudes in the booth with me, Smokin' Joe and Johnny Replay, fresh on the replays for you so we can get you guys all the action here at this race at Kentucky. So this is going to be a longer one, scheduled for 200 laps here today, guys. How you feeling today, Smokin' Joe?
Yeah, it should be a pretty good race. Kentucky's always been a great track here for Bonfire. We always see great racing here to start every season, not only in the Cup Series, but in Big Truckin' Tuesday as well. Always a lot of long green flag runs. I think this is the track that pretty much everybody in this league is just so immersed with that we're able to get a lot of long green flag runs going.
I could not agree more. I really love this place too. It's such a fun track. I think it's one of those that I think a lot of people criticize the way this place used to race in real life, but on something about on iRacing, this track is just a gem. Definitely one of my favorite tracks in the service, and always love calling races here. Johnny Replay, you excited for a pretty, I would say, active night here at Kentucky, as what we can expect, or morning, I should say?
Oh, I'm super excited. I love this track, and I've only been here with trucks, so to see Cup cars race, I can't wait to see the difference on how both vehicles perform.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot different than I think what you're used to with trucks. That extra gear that these Cup cars have available can be so big here at a track like Kentucky. Look for guys to be using that fourth gear on the entrance of that tight 3 and 4, that turn that's far different than 1 and 2. Definitely a tale of two stories here in terms of where or how this track is designed. So on screen right now, you have the beginning of the season starting things off like we said at Kentucky. You'll have me in the call for that one, and then Mean Gene Money, who you guys are all used to here at the Bonfire Race League, will be back with you guys for Charlotte Motor Speedway next week on the 21st. After that, we'll be heading to Kansas, and then Dover, Chicagoland, and then Indy. So just an awesome set of race tracks right there. All fun tracks that I think these guys are going to enjoy. But not only the schedule is different, Smokin' Joe, we actually had quite a few team changes and roster changes going into this season, if you want to run us through a couple of them.
Yeah, so a couple drivers decided to swap up who they're going to race with here for the new season. So actually, the Gulf Coast Racing team, which of course just won the team championship last season, had a bit of a shake-up here. Let's see if he's come out on track yet. We can highlight him for qualifying here or not. I don't think he's come out on track yet, so I cannot highlight him yet.
We'll just imagine.
Well, just imagine. So Tommy Fox has taken the 4th spot now on Gulf Coast Racing, taking Joe Volpus' spot on the team, as Joe Volpus will move over and join Animal House Customs Racing. Here I could actually show somebody on that team, if it'll let me do that. Ricky Mandela Sr. out here qualifying right now. So he joins Animal House Customs with Ricky Mandela Sr., Michael Benton, and David Beal. He'll be the 4th driver for that team for this season.
That is interesting. I think that makes both teams, in a way, more balanced. Tommy Fox has been improving so much in the past year or so. We've been seeing him put down just heater qualifying times, and he's had an easier time staying up where he's been qualifying as of late. You've seen him in the DDRL, earning top 5 finishes, as well as an MRL and BRL. So I think that's big for Gulf Coast to pick up Tommy Fox. But then looking at the Animal House side of things, bringing Volpus into the mix is huge for that team. I think that could be a new leader of that team. Volpus is such a strong driver in this Cup car and in this league, so that really is going to make the team standings an interesting thing to follow this year. Also, run us through some of the rules here going into this season, Smokin' Joe. Are we looking at a win you're in, playoff format? What are we to expect here in season 14?
So, of course, things have changed a lot here for the new season. The big thing that I want to note for every specific race now is we're going to be doing stage breaks, as you saw on the schedule. So at the end of lap 74, start of 75, we're going to have the first ever stage break in the Bonfire Racing League here tonight. So I think that's going to be very interesting to see how the strategy really plays out week to week based on that, and see how these guys really play out. So stage points are going to have a huge effect on how these guys manage their points throughout the season now. And speaking of points, of course, we were talking about where guys are going to finish, for the regular season sort of thing, how Bonfire's always been a It's straight points. Doesn't really matter where you, if you win a race or not. It's not a win and in situation. At least it never has been before. But now what we're looking at is a situation where the win and in is going to come into effect with some of the ways it's going to work. So to explain how that's going to work is the top 12 are going to qualify for the playoffs. Race winners are going to earn an automatic bid as long as they hit that minimum start threshold, which I don't see on here right now. That's a problem. It's usually about 75% of the races. So the regular season is 12 races. There's going to be a drop week again as well. So I would assume it's probably 8 or 9 races you got to make in order to make the playoffs. And make sure that, the winning end really does happen. Then, of course, a little bit different. Only 12 drivers are going to make the playoffs. In the past, it's been 16. It would go 16-10 for. Now it's going to go 12-8 for. So a couple different things really going on here for the new season.
That's exciting changes, though. A lot of things that I think are, like you said, going to change the way these drivers approach the races. I think specifically that stage break, it's going to really change the strategy around these races, the way you take care of your tires, when you use those tire sets, all that fun stuff completely gets turned on its head with a stage break. So that's going to be fun. And then that when you're in, adding a spot kind of reminds me a little bit of the DDIRL wildcard rule, which is a cool rule and is a popular rule for a lot of these guys. It really gives you an incentive to go for those wins. I mean, at tracks like Daytona, Talladega, places where anyone has a shot, and then really is going to keep these fields full by meeting that minimum threshold of races, which really, to be honest, is rarely an issue here at the Sunday Premier Cup League. These guys have no problem getting full fields of competitive drivers. And we're taking a look at qualifying currently underway right now. Kevin Kyle currently has it on the pole, on the preliminary pole, I should say. Still a few minutes left. So we'll have to see if Kevin Kyle is able to do that. We know how good Kyle is at qualifying. So that'll be a fun thing to watch. I mean, guys, you got to be looking at this season, though, Smoke and Joe. You got to have your eye on the usual suspects of Medina and Landry, our defending champion. They combined for 9 wins last season.
Yeah, and of course Landry not here. He's out of the country right now. Well, he's
his country.
Technically out of his country. Yeah, exactly. He's away in Europe right now, so he's not able to race with us this week. But David Medina, of course, one of the legends of Bonfire Premier Cup, still out here, still racing. We'll see if he's able to put down a really good lap time here for qualifying. Usually we see him qualify, if not on the pole, in the top 3, and usually has great pace on the long run. So we'll see if he's able to carry that into this new season and get back into a championship. He came up just a little bit short last year.
Yeah, Johnny Replay, you're going to get to know David Medina throughout the course of this season, the guy that I like to call the godfather of BRL. One of the most impressive drivers I've ever seen. So difficult to beat. But yeah, Jason Landry, I mean, who goes to Europe and misses iRaces? Who would do such a thing? But gonna miss this race, and I'm sure Medina not complaining about that, as he had 6 wins last year. And there on screen is the newest member of Gulf Coast Racing, Tommy Fox. Johnny Replay, you've shared the track with Tommy Fox before. What do you think about that as a pickup for Gulf Coast Racing? Definitely one of the super teams here in BRL.
I've shared the track with Tommy Fox. I can't tell you how much I've actually raced with him. Dude's a lot better than me. And as I'm getting into this BRL, I'm excited to see how the other drivers drive too. I kind of know how Tommy Fox drives, so I can't really put an opinion out there yet, because I want to see the whole team together. But he's a great driver.
Yeah, I would say similar to tomorrow night in the MRL, this is about as competitive a league as you're going to find. Really the cream of the crop in this league, and case in point on screen right now, Jared Kelly, the showboat, one of the long-standing members of BRL, one of the admins of this league, repping a beautiful new paint scheme for this season, loving the red on that car. Jared Kelly definitely going to be looking for more wins this season. He has been showing so much speed lately, Smoke and Joe, whether it be on Tuesdays or his occasional MRL appearances, just not getting the luck that that 55 quite deserves.
Yeah, I know this very well. Half the battle is having the pace and having good long run speed. The other half of the battle is just having good luck in these races, making sure you're in the right positions at the right time. And Jared's just not been in the right places at the right time here the past few races. So I'm sure he's looking to turn it around. Qualifying in fifth, I think that was a good way to start turning it around for certain.
Certainly, that is going to help. So, a fifth place qualifying effort, it looks like for Kelly. The majority of these cars have put in their laps. Unsurprisingly, currently sitting on the preliminary pole is David Medina, picking up where he left off last season. That guy is amazing at putting down hot laps. And then starting on the outside with him right now, looks like it should be Kyle Lynott. We'll have to see if that. Cool. So we actually will just pull up the results. So it is going to be Lynott sharing the front row with David Medina. So great qualifying from Lynott, not far behind Medina at all. And just 2 thousandths off that time is going to be Kevin Kyle. David Owens will be starting in fourth place alongside him in the second row. Like we just mentioned, Jared Kelly's going to round out our top five with Joseph Wolfis starting in sixth place. Ricky Mandela Sr. will be starting in seventh. David Buell eighth. Rick Mondrick will be over in ninth. I believe that's a rookie over here. Don't recognize that name. It's a 900 number as well. And then Jax Duvall running out our top 10.
Going through the rest of the field, we got Tommy Fox starting in 11th. David Brenner going to start alongside him. Back in row number 7, you got Brandon Sheldon returning for another season. We'll see. He's usually very good here at Kentucky. Going to have some work cut out from him to get up front. Michael Sara going to start alongside him, one of the high AM drivers from last season. Jake Ashea, Tim Darby. I saw Jake Ashea's in a new paint scheme here. I think you're really going to love it when you see it there, Zach. I'll tell you that much. He's going to start in 15th alongside Tim Darby. Then you got Jake Johnson, Paul Ferdiani. They're going to start in 17th and 18th. And then going further on back through the field, we got Wayne Newman, Jose Medina going to start on row number 10. The last guy to put down a lap time was Todd Dunn. He'll start 21st. And then you got your no time. So Matt Schofield, that is not a driver in 23rd. That is iRacing control. So I don't know why that's showing up there. And then you got Zach Clausen and Stephen Neal in here as well. They're going to start on no time. So 24 drivers are going to round out your field for the first race for the Puckett 300. And, I just want to say a quick shout out, of course. We lost Dennis Puckett earlier this year. Very sad. Big part of not only MRL on our end, on my end, but, Bonfire, ran this league just with great class and really made it what it is today. I'm really sad that we lost him earlier this year. This is his home track, so having it sponsored after Dennis is really cool, and we miss you, Dennis.
Yeah, we're still thinking about Dennis Puckett every day, his family and loved ones, thinking about you guys as well. But well said, Smoke and Joe. This league is definitely not what it is without Dennis Puckett. He shaped and molded it into the impressive and respectful and very fun league that it's become. So he's extremely missed every day. And like you said, I'm excited to be starting the season off the right way at his favorite track and putting on a show here at Kentucky. So winning our Sim Racing Nation pole position award, sponsored by Sim Racing Nation, is going to be David Medina. David Medina, no stranger to putting on the pole here in the BRL Sunday Morning League. This guy is just so fast on those hot laps, but really what to look for once we get going here is just how good he is at conserving tire and controlling his pace. I've always said about Medina, you really can't make that guy go faster than he wants to, and that's what's so frustrating about racing him, it seems like, is you might feel like you're sticking with him or you might feel like you're gapping him, but he has the situation completely under control, and he'll see you in 10 laps.
Yeah, he's just so good at saving his tires. We're going to see how much that really comes into play here. I did a recruitment race not too long ago at Kentucky before this last UI update, which I'm not a huge fan of. But,
Nope.
When they did the oval refresh, especially for this car and for Kentucky as well, there was a lot of interesting things that we saw with the way this car drove. The dirty air effect was so great when we came here. It was really bad. So expect these guys to really try and offset each other a lot to make sure that they're not washing up the track, using up their right front too much. And the other thing that I remember I noticed was the car gets very, very tight here, which, this car's naturally tight in the past, but it was a lot worse than it was in the past.
Yeah, I've noticed that a little bit with the new update as well, especially in the mid-runs. Not only are the tires kind of evening out more than they used to, instead of kind of just being this forever dwindling thing with the tire wear. They seem to even out at a point, but man, that tightness, especially I think through 3 and 4 here at Kentucky, is going to be something to look out for. 1 and 2, a track or a turn that I think a lot of these guys are going to be tempted to want to take nearly flat out, if not flat out. But what I like to always say about Kentucky here is what you do in 1 and 2, the saving you that you perform through 1 and 2 is where you can show it off through 3 and 4. So that's an important part as well. So it's going to be fun to see which of those guys, these 24 drivers, did their homework and which ones did not, and will be able to take home this first win of the season here at Kentucky. So again, we are scheduled for 200 laps. These races do have a time limit. If that time limit comes first, it will end under time. We will keep our eye on that because 200 laps around Kentucky is a big ask if we're not able to keep it green. But we will deal with that as the time comes. It's going to be Dave Medina getting the season started on the front row, sharing it with Kyle Lynott here for the Dennis Puckett Memorial 300. So excited to get season 14 underway here at the BRL. Jason Landry will be back next week to help defend his championship. But right now, it's all about Dave Medina and Kyle Lynott, Owens and Kevin Kyle. And we are about to get going green. There's a Geico restart zone. And it's going to be Dave Medina with a good jump, but equally good jump by Lynott, again going off the flagman there, so you can see the difference there as a good run on the outside by Lynott, trying to make that outside line work through 1 and 2. That can be difficult here at Kentucky. It's gonna be interesting to see who has the run out through the backstretch here as we go through 3 and 4. Lynott with the slight edge over Medina.
Yeah, so one other big thing that I forgot to mention actually is now on the initial start of the race, the leader does not have the ability to choose lanes, only on the restarts if there's any sort of cautions or at the stage break. So David Medina was stuck on starting on the inside there, and we saw how good of a launch Kyle got on the outside. So we might want to take a look at that later in the race and see if the outside might be better on restarts.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun thing to follow, and definitely right there, it seems like the outside nearly worked for Lynott. Medina able to get that spot back. Just such a hard pass is Medina. Lynott, though, he still wants it. He's going to try to peek to the inside through 3 and 4 and make that work. We'll see if Lynott's able to complete the pass here. He's going to have the inside lane through 1 and 2, which I think is going to be the advantageous lane, especially this early in the run. You can just hold it wide open and see if he can complete this pass.
Yeah, you know, the inside is very, very good on a short run here. But, you know, the one thing that I noticed in practice is it gets very tight down there. You know, if it didn't, I think Kyle would have been able to clear him in 1 and 2. But he had to wait until it got in 3 and 4, drove it in a little bit deeper in order to get that lead.
He did, and that is going to give a lap led to Lynott, so that's good for him, collect some points, and hopefully put Dave Medina behind him for as long as he can. Lynott, another guy to keep your eye on here at Kentucky throughout the day, obviously by his qualifying effort, but you know he likes this racetrack. Really, really quick normally at these types of racetracks that kind of tell different stories on the different ends of the track. Further back down the field, you see a battle between Jared Kelly, and I believe that's Kevin Kyle looking to his outside. Kelly and Kyle extremely close, nearly touch, coming through 4. Oh man, that was a close one.
Yeah, these two are very competitive with each other. We've seen it in the past. You know, Kevin. Oh my.
Oh, okay. Shoots him all the way up the track. Kevin Kyle with a good recovery, but that's going to open up the door for Joel Volpes, looking like Denny Hamlin today. And Volpes not able to do anything with that, but oh my, that was a close one for Kevin Kyle.
Yeah, I think he just I don't know if it was just a misjudging on the part of the 55 and the 31 on where the wall was. I think he got away with that without getting any sort of damage. And, you know, that competitive spirit that we were talking about, we saw it right there firsthand.
Yep, he really did. He's going to try to make the outside work here, is Kyle, trying to build up those runs and see what he can do about it. And it looks like, are these cars slowing down a little bit?
Oh, we might. I think we got a caution.
Yeah, we might be under
there.
Caution.
Yeah, we do. Todd Dunn, I believe, is...
Todd Dunn. Looks like in the 33 may have an issue.
Yeah, I think Paul Ferdiani
I've been the 131
as well.
Let us know when you got that one, Johnny Replay. That was...
I have it ready.
Jeez, so quick. What did I tell you, Joe?
Oh my goodness, I'm not even ready. Here we go.
I know, so fast we're even ready. All right, here we go. Hit that. Oh. Talk about a misjudgment. Oh, an innocent bystander.
Tommy
Huge
Fox.
hits.
Oh my.
Oh, that is Tommy Fox. Oh no. And that's going to be it for Fox, it looks like. Fox is going to pack it up for the day.
Ooh, the 61.
Oh.
little boop.
Yep, Schofield involved in this as well. Looks like Schofield is going to try to get that damage fixed. Not too bad for Schofield. That was a race ender for Tommy Fox, and let's see. I think we saw the 131. He is still in the pits.
I think it might be too early to call that a race ender for old Tommy Fox.
Okay. Is he back?
I'm gonna tell you why. He's still out there. Let's take a little. Let's take a little peeky here. Okay, so the rear's a little messed up. Okay. Let's take a look at the front.
And then I think something just happened under caution between him and the 808 of Newman. If you can find that, Johnny, under caution, I think Tommy Fox just had a little incident. Uh-oh. So Tommy in his debut race here in the BRL for the Gulf Coast, not having what he wants. And here comes Kevin Kyle down in the pits. That's interesting, Joe. I'm wondering if maybe he did collect some damage in that little skirmish he had with Jared Kelly, or if maybe Kevin Kyle doing his normal alternative strategy.
I think he's just coming in to make sure he didn't get any sort of damage, because it was a pretty hard hit, and you can get very paranoid with the way this car is sometimes, and the kind of damage you can pick up very easily. So yeah, looking back at that wreck there, the 808, and it looked like the 33 had a bad moment there off turn 4, and Tommy Fox is an innocent bystander.
Let's take a look at that.
See what happened under caution.
Again? Oh no. Oh, just not checking up in time.
You know,
Tommy Fox just minding his own business.
Do you know what that is a complete product of the new update as well, with how the pace car picks up the field, how it doesn't speed up when it comes out of pit road. Guys were not prepared for it here for this first caution, and man, this could have been way worse than what it was. I mean, we almost had a T-bone situation. Tommy Fox, good job using the brake pedal and not creating one.
Yeah, good job by Tommy Fox. Nothing he really could have done differently there, but you're right. That new update caught me by surprise. My first race with this new system that got a caution, I should say, was on Thursday, and I almost took out half the field catching the pace car. It's a lot slower than it used to be. You really got to be prepared for it now, and I think a lot of these drivers are still adjusting not only to the atrocious-looking UI, but the new changes that came with it as well.
Yeah, there's just so many different things that are really going on here. This is the first race for Bonfire Premier Cup that's happened since that update, so I think that is important to note as well. We didn't have a race last week, to really settle into this new UI, so, Big Truckin' Tuesday, MRL, and all the other series that we cover, they've had the ability to really settle into it. These guys, this might be their first time on the sim since the update, and I think it's showing right now with some early jitters for race 1.
I agree. So you were right. I apologize. It looks like Tommy Fox is going to stay out here, get some damage fixed, and Dunn is still getting his damage fixed in the 131. He is still in the pits. He's going to go a couple laps down. I'm seeing Owens on the bottom as race control, so that's good. Actual David Owens is still out there, currently running in 3rd place, and they are side by side again. Lights are off the pace car, so we'll be going green this time. Kyle Lynott will be our control car, and he chose the inside, Joe, so that is interesting. Like you said, that's something we're going to have to keep track of and see what is preferred, but right now the leader is going to choose the inside, and he will be the control car here, so expect a little bit better of a jump than we saw earlier in this race.
Here they come into the Geico restart zone. Let's see what happens this time with somebody controlling the field, not the flagman. What does Kyle Lynott do? He takes off and he gets a great restart. Look at him go. David Owens in tow. They're going to completely clear the outside lane.
Great job by Owens and Lynott to work together on that restart and completely check out from the outside lane. Dave Medina caught sleeping, and now Volpes is going to look to the inside of Medina. Medina could lose 2 spots here in this restart. Inside lane currently being controlled by the 11 car, but a great runoff too by Medina. He's going to secure second. I'm sorry, but and then to the outside there is Lynott working on his teammate of Owens. Owens and Lynott side by side out of 3 and 4, and Lynott is going to maintain control of this race, lead another lap. That 988 showing all kinds of speed here, Johnny Replay.
Yeah, this is where I'm kind of like, how do these cars perform? Because 5th gear, in my whole time, I've never even touched the 5th gear in this game. So hearing that they downshift to 4th, get into 5th, I'm like, this is all new to me. That's why I'm so quick with the replays. I'm just glued on here.
It is interesting for sure. I'm not a huge fan of the fifth gear at most tracks, but places like this, it can be very, very helpful, especially through 3 and 4. And we're already looking somewhat single file here. These guys prioritizing tire wear, prioritizing the long runs here. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Oh God, I hear it. Who was that?
I think we had somebody. It's a 27 just
The
flew
27.
off the track. He's on pit road. Oh no!
Had him an equipment failure. Or
Yeah.
either he got loose at a 2 or had a pretty dramatic equipment failure, and it looks like we're back under caution.
Yeah,
We are.
I'm hearing his VR headset messed up, and
That's why you don't use VR.
You know, there's been a lot of trouble with VR since this update came out. I heard somebody say that earlier today as well, that the VR headsets are just not having a good time since this update. And there's Exhibit A. I'm sure we'll see a good replay of that here in a second.
Yeah, I mean,
I have it ready.
let's take a look, and this is going to be probably a pretty dramatic hit for that 27 car. He's just going to veer left, straight into the inside way. Oh my goodness. Luckily his hood reformed, but massive hits right there for Sarah. Oh, Sarah had such a good season last year. I was excited to see what he could do today, but not going to get the start of his finish, or the start to the season that he wanted there with that massive hit due to a technical issue. Pitting right now is David Owens. Very interesting. Owens going to bring it down. Maybe already counting backwards towards that lap 75 stage, or wanting 4 fresh tires to see what that can do. But that is some interesting stuff right there for Sarah. And I believe you entirely about VR having issues after this update, because I used to VR and it just had issues. I mean, before the update, I just could never trust it, especially for these longer races, 200 laps around this place. I feel like one small adjustment in my racing seat could sometimes get it all out of whack. So as cool as VR is, because it really is an amazing driving experience and viewing experience, it just isn't where I'd like it to be in terms of trust. And that right there would be Exhibit A.
Yeah, and you know what else I noticed is the shadows on the track just changed a lot. It got a little bit darker out there. So I think this track surface is going to change up a little bit here, and we'll see how that really plays out. Well, we weren't able to go silent for lap 12 since there was a massive crash due to a VR headset failure. So I think a good compromise will be, let's do it on lap 112, and hopefully nothing crazy happens then.
Yeah, let's hope that 112 is calm enough to where we can give Puckett that tribute that he deserves. But yeah, this has been an eventful first 15 laps, and I think that change in the track surface will definitely play into how these cars are driving, especially with all these caution laps. The track probably not that rubbered in yet, so if it's going to change temperature, now would be the time for it to have an effect. Moving up to 3rd place already, you see Jared Kelly. So Kelly has made some good forward pushes here in this race, as has Vulpes, already up to 4th place here. So these guys really picking up spots early in this race. It's going to be fun to see David Owens and what he's able to do. I'm assuming he put on tires there, Joe?
Let's take a look at that pit time. It looks like his pit time was 6 seconds.
So just fuel.
Just fuel, maybe checking to see if he had any sort of damage. I'm looking at everybody's pit times. It looks like everybody that's pitted so far in this race has either come just to do a little splash and dash, or to maybe fix some damage. I don't think anybody's thrown on a set of tires yet.
Okay, so everyone's still on an even playing field. That'll be interesting then. So Owens and Kevin Kyle are going to have to re-earn that track position. Kevin Kyle already, just in that short run we just had, back up to 14th, so it's definitely possible. Kentucky, not a track where passing is too difficult. But we've heard so much about dirty air since this update, Joe, that I'm definitely going to be looking for that as well here, especially 3 and 4, I think, is really when air can come into play later in these runs.
Yeah, that was the big thing I was mentioning from the race that I did here a few weeks ago. What didn't play out at nighttime, though, so this might make the racing... Honestly, this might make the dirty air even worse, just because we're going to be going faster speeds, higher grip. That arrow is just going to matter so much more here, as it looks like we're heading into the restart zone.
Yes, we are. Jax Duvall repping that new 84 Jaguars paint scheme, looking good. A lot of new paint schemes here, but same thing for Kyle Lynott, and he's going to be controlling the lead again, and another great restart. Medina definitely learning a little bit from the previous one, and to note as well, Lynott switching lanes that time, choosing the high side on this restart and really making it work. Likely going to have a massive run out of 2 here. And look at Duvall to the outside of Medina, and he's going to complete the pass.
Yeah, great restart for those two. Jax Duvall is, even though he's not on the team, Gulf Coast Racing team, he is in the chat with the Gulf Coast Racing boys here for the race. And I think that's why Kyle Lynott took the outside, try and use him to get around David Medina, maybe hold up Medina a little bit. It looks like, though, David's fighting back on the inside here.
It's taking every ounce of will for Jared Kelly not to send these guys 3 wide. You can tell how much he was thinking about it on the front stretch there, but he's just going to follow around Medina and see if he can complete the pass on Duvall that way. Duvall with the brilliant run out of 2, nearly, oh my goodness. Oh, wow, he does get into Medina. Medina's sideways. Medina's going to go down the apron, into the grass, into the runway. Looks, and now around, I don't know if this will bring out a caution. That is off the racing surface. I think we're going to stay green here, which is the last thing David Medina wants. Gosh, that was light contact, but that's all it took to send the 9 around.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we have any sort of caution lights going on. It don't look like it. I think these guys are still going at speed. So, a really tough break for David Medina right there. He's going to have a lot of work to get back into this one.
Yeah, that's going to be brutal for Medina. He's going to be pretty much waiting for that stage caution or another caution because he's going to be dramatically far behind this field now. I think his biggest concern now will be going a lap down. I don't think he picked up any damage during the incident. He didn't hit anything, so as long as Duvall didn't get into that rear end too hard, he should be still driving a damage-free car. But a brutal start to this race for David Medina, our runner-up for the championship and 3-time winner last season.
Yeah, and on the...
I have that replay ready if you want to see the contact.
Oh, yeah, let's take a look. Let's see how big this contact was. It looked pretty minimal, but sometimes that's all it takes. Here comes Duvall right into Medina. Just a difference in corner entry. Pretty dramatic one. And honestly, all things considered, a very good save by Medina and all the other drivers here not to get into him.
Yeah, that could have been very easily a 10 to 15 car pile up there in turns 3 and 4. Great job by everybody to miss him. Great job by Medina to not overreact, not panic, and do a great job of just letting it slide off the track and then get going again here. It's just a tough break to lose all that time.
Yeah, that definitely could have been a lot worse. He could have ran it straight in the inside wall if he tried to do too much. But like you said, let the car kind of do its thing, go where it wanted to, and really got the fruits of his labor for that. And here we are, some side-by-side action, nearly 3 wide. It looks like that is Mandela and is that Kelly for third place? Or I'm sorry, that's Buell and Kelly looking for third place there. Buell, so much speed as of recently. He's just been putting down some amazing qualifying times and has been able to stay up there. And in front of our leader, it looks like lappers may be playing into effect soon. Not too far ahead is Medina, but that is Dave Medina again. So there he is at the top of your screen, as you saw. Dave Medina kind of running alone right now. No draft help. Needs to stay in front of this group. Lynott really starting to put a gap on Duvall. I mean, Duvall got a little bit slowed down with that incident with Medina, but nearly a second lead as Lynott grazes the wall a little bit on corner exit.
Yeah, right now looking through the rest of the top 10, there's some really surprising names up there. Some guys having some great runs. Ricky Mandela Sr., you see him, he's up in 3rd place right now.
Yep.
After winning the AM championship last year. David Buell, one of the vets of Bonfire, he's running in 4th place right now, having a great start to his night. Brandon Shelton, of course, I mentioned him at the start of the race, how I figured he'd be up front. At some point, battling with Jared Kelly for 5th.
Ooh.
And then, as Jared Kelly blinks out, looking right behind this battle, right behind Vulpes, you got Jake Shea in his new paint scheme and that 77 Shell Pennzoil Ford right behind them. I think that paint scheme might remind you of somebody there, Zach.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe a little bit.
Love it. Maybe a little bit, yep. And then looking right behind the new paint scheme for Jake Shea, you got Stephen Neal up the most spots in the field. He's up 16 right now. 25th to 6th for him, and right behind him, the second biggest mover of the race, Zach Clausen, from 24th. He's up into 10th place right now.
Yeah, really, a lot of drivers doing an exceptional job so far with some great running position, a little bit further up than we normally are used to seeing them here in the BRL. Yeah, sticking out a lot is Mandela. That guy is improving so much week in, week out. Defending AM champion, and there's a good reason why. There was definitely a move to get that guy into the pros in the middle, but ended up staying with the AM and able to keep hold of that championship. Mandela is such a solid driver and really, really getting quicker. Same goes for the car behind him with Buell and Shelton. So these guys have just been showing so much improvement week in and week out. And yeah, gotta love that Shea paint scheme. Definitely reminiscent of a couple people.
Oh yeah, it's very pretty to see that nice yellow and red Shell Pennzoil out on the track, running up front in the top 10. I think you saw a lot of that last night in the real life race there too, Zach.
Yeah, you did. You really did. And a good amount of that 11 car was doing pretty well yesterday too, for the most part, whenever their tires were allowing for it. And speaking of tires, it looks like Jared Kelly right now, from what I'm observing, is having the hardest time conserving these tires and seems to be falling down this running order a little bit. We saw Kelly battling for third, even second earlier in this race. No one's changed tires yet, and Kelly having a hard time right now. Volp is trying to work us outside and take away that top 5 spot from him.
Yeah, right now that's actually a battle for 6th. Brandon Shelton got past both of them to get into 5th. As it looks like Vulpes, though, has got something cooking on the outside there in 3 and 4, and maybe in 1 and 2 here as well. Looks like maybe he's either turned up the wick or he's found a little speed up there right now, because look at him. He's making some moves. He got around Jared Kelly last lap, looking to get around Brandon Shelton this lap, going to make the same exact move in 3 and 4.
Yeah, gorgeous moves here by Volpes. And I've always said that the top line here at Kentucky, if you can make it work, is kind of a secret weapon, because a lot of people don't really have the practice or really the reps here on the outside of this track to make that work. Everyone just always assumes this is a place where you want to hug the bottom, especially through 1 and 2 here, and really through 3 and 4. A lot of people try to just get as low as they can, but there is speed to be found on that top lane, especially on these long runs. You can really hold that throttle more wide open. And now look at this, Volpes going to dive into the inside. I think the 52 was trying to cover that off, thinking that Volpes was going to go high, but Volpes saying, nah, I can do either lane. Don't worry about me. Wow, that 11 is on a hard charge right now. Completes another pass.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of teamwork there, because you got the 3 Animal House custom cars that are able to be here today. Mike Benton, unfortunately, he was on the way back from a funeral in in Delaware this weekend, so a long drive for him home after that. I think he's in there giving them some moral support right now, and I think it's helping out, because they're 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, Volpes got to be loving his new team right now, the newest member of Animal House Customs, and immediately getting to take advantage of that and have some teamwork with his teammate Buell right there to control the top 5. So that really is a great situation for Animal House. These guys running a lot better than we saw them running last year, so this is exciting to see a new team up front. I mean, not that Animal House was ever not a strong team. They are a very, very strong team, but you add that 11 to the mix, and they get that much more exciting, and you can just see how much that can change kind of the vibe around an entire team. But one thing that isn't changing, Johnny Replay, is that 98 of Kyle Lynott just checking out right now, nearly a 1 second lead over Jack Staval.
Yeah, so what I've noticed is that on this track 3 and 4, the outside, you can be a lot faster than on the inside. I mean, obviously, I've noticed this with the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to be faster on the inside line, you have to check up a lot earlier.
Yeah.
That's something you have to do with these cars too?
Definitely with these, because these cars get tighter than trucks do, and you really, really got to get to the bottom if you want to use it. And the only way is to check up super, super early, in my opinion. I've always told people when they're trying to learn Kentucky, especially 3 and 4, you want to check up earlier than what feels right. I kind of call it unnaturally early. Would you agree with that, Joe?
Yeah, that's definitely more the case now than it was before as well. Just because of the way the car drives so naturally tight. And I really think that's what's making this second line really come into play a little bit more, is shifting is a lot more noticeable. It's something more crucial than it's been in the past here. And I think it's really starting to open up that second lane a little bit more and not really hurt the tires as much as you would think. Now, down here in 1 and 2, you can see Stephen Neal way up the track there. and he's able to make it work pretty well to still hold off David Owens. So the outside does seem like it's got a little bit more juice in it than it usually does.
It really does. It's fun to watch because I'm not used to seeing this at Kentucky, but or at least not this regularly throughout the field. But it's awesome to see. And look at Stephen Neal getting that great run on the outside, enough to get to the outside potentially here of Shelton. We'll see if he's able to make the outside work through 1 and 2. And then behind them, you would swear he took tires with how quickly he's making his way through the field. David Owens already inside the top 10, up to 9th place. If he could get a 2-for-1 special here, he'll be up to 7th. But here he is trying to be patient and let Neal and Shelton figure their differences out right here.
Yeah,
the patience is gone.
Oh, yep, here we go. Well, I was about to say business is going to start picking up here in a few laps anyways, because we're pretty much halfway into the stage here at this point. And with the fuel run being anywhere from 42 to 46 laps, we're within that window now to make it on one pit stop to make it to that stage break. So I am expecting some different sort of strategies to happen. If we take a look at lap times there, Zach, right now these guys are running mid to low 31s, so that's about a second off of the normal pace. Right now it looks like Vulpes might be the fastest out of everybody in the top 10 that last lap.
Yep.
Nope, no, it still is. Never mind. I'm sorry. No, Kyle is the fastest that time. I'm sorry, I can't read. So right now these guys are about 8 to 10ths to a second off the pace. So I do expect tires to matter at least a little bit. And with only 4 additional tire sets to play with, you take a set here before the stage, and not try and play it out the full 75 laps. You might be in a bad situation on the backhand of the race if there's a late race caution.
That's a really good point, and this is the type of, or the part of the race where these drivers are going to have to decide how much they want to prioritize stage points or that controlling of the race, because I would say, yeah, that undercut is very much there with that 1 second delta right there for those drivers. But also, like you said, if you're going to take those tires and we're going to get that caution on lap 75, you might as well put them on sooner rather than later if you're going to throw in another set on lap 75. That's going to be up to a lot of these drivers. If you want to get that, or the full fuel run out of this and not change the tires, I mean, you can kiss those stage points goodbye, but you're going to have an extra set than everybody else later in this race. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see happen here. I think the majority of the field will see take 4 fresh ones, and I think sooner rather than later, but I would definitely expect to see some under and overcuts here, depending on when these guys pit and who starts this all and who starts the avalanche. I'm thinking it'll likely be someone like Duvall or Mandela will be the first to come down and make everyone else want to as well.
Well, here you go. Your first blinker is going to be, the first one to blink is going to be David Buell, if it ever lets me go on. And
there we go.
David Buell going to be followed down by Brandon Sheldon as well. So those will be the first 2 guys here to blink and take tires. Let's see who comes down behind him now that it looks like the cycle started.
So those guys were running well. So you'd expect these leaders like Lynott, Duvall, Mandela, Vulpes, and Kelly not to want to take out or stay out for too much longer, or else they will definitely suffer from that undercut that those 2 are performing right now. Lynott is going to leave it on the racetrack. So far it looks like our leaders are not going to bite quite yet, but every lap they stay out is about a second plus slower than those 2 right now. So that will be good for them. As you see, the 13 below Lynott as well. So it looks like he may have pit as well. That is Darby. So yeah, it looks like a few of our cars beginning to pit, but not Lynott. He is not interested quite yet. He's going to leave it out here, as is Duvall.
Yeah, it looks like pretty much everybody else in the top 10 has not decided to pit yet. So right now on the aggressive end of the undercut strategy is going to be Sheldon and David Buell. We'll see how it plays out for them here. If we could pull up let's take a look at those last lap times. I think they should have at least a lap on those tires right now. Nope, not yet. They have not completed an actual up-to-pace lap yet. So still waiting to see what the lap times are looking like in comparison.
And Buell had a really good pit stop compared to Shelton. If they were the same time pit stops, quite a bit in front of Shelton now on track. So that is interesting for Buell, doing what he has to right now. And here we go. We're getting more cars in the pits here. Here's the 61 bringing it down. So we got more people starting to buy Schofield this time. It's going to be his second pit stop, I believe, of this race. He was involved in an earlier incident, but he's been able to keep that 61 clean since then. So we're starting to see cars trickle in. None of our leaders yet, though, is not going to complete another lap out here. We are now on lap 44 out of 200, and here comes, who is that? That's 11 of Vulpes. So Vulpes going to bring it down. That was one of our better running cars, so this will be interesting. Vulpes and Buell going to be the two cars I'd assume are going to cycle to 1 and 2 before the stage break ends, and it'll just be a matter of keeping that lead if they're able to attain it.
Yeah, so looking at the last lap times there, so Brandon Sheldon was the fastest car on the racetrack. He was only, though, 4/10 faster than Kyle and I actually now have the second faster. So right now, those lap times are pretty even with each other. So I don't know how much of an advantage they're going to get.
And if that data is available to Lynott right now, then yeah, that would explain what's tempting him to stay out. But that was not enough for Duvall and Kelly. Duvall and Kelly going to bring it down, put on 4 fresh ones. Great run so far from the 84 Duvall. He's going to pit that car from second place. Jared Kelly looks like he nearly misses his pit box, but gets in pretty cleanly. Kelly, probably one of the guys happiest to put on 4 fresh tires, and nothing is going to be able to convince this 988 to bring it down. Lap 46, still putting down laps is Kyle Lynott. Getting more and more interesting to see what he's going to do about the tires when he decides to pit. He's getting close enough to where 2 maybe would be worth considering, maybe. Depending on how much time that would save him. Looks like Lynott slowing down a little bit here, hugging the bottom. This might be the time. It's not. We're going to go another lap around.
Yeah, these guys are really starting to stretch it out pretty far. With those caution laps early on, they could probably go about another 2 or 3 laps before we see most of these guys pit. However, guys like David Owens, he last pitted on lap 13. Same with David Brenner and Tommy Fox. So those guys have a lot of extra fuel in the tank. They can make it to about lap 60 here.
And then maybe you don't do the tires. If you're someone like David Owens, you just do a really short splash and go, try to maintain the lead that way and see what happens there. That'll be interesting to see what happens there with Owens. Oop, there we go. And then in terms of how this is cycling through, from what I can see right now, Buell is the leader of the cars who have pit, with Vulpes very close behind and closing quickly. Those couple lap fresher tires for Vulpes paying in dividends. I'm wondering, did Buell take 2?
Taking a look at those pit times, no, everybody here took 4 tires.
Okay, so Buell just struggling early right here because Vulpes just blew his doors off, and that was only about a 5-lap difference right there. So that is very telling for when Lynott decides to pit, and if he does put 4 on, how much faster he's going to be than everyone else on the field, because Vulpes has driven away already from Buell. So now Vulpes, the leading car of those who have pit.
Yep, and we got some more takers here this time. We got Jake Shea, Stephen Neal, and Rick Modric all coming in this time, and we'll see how this plays out.
Stephen Neal scheme is hilarious.
Oh, you love the Stephen Neal paint scheme. It's a beauty.
Oh, it's so funny. That is a Toyota too, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's even better.
He's been driving those paint schemes for a long time. It's always funny to see, especially in the truck series when he's driving the TRD Pro truck. That's always pretty funny to see it on that.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, but this one looks like he's got the TURD, so must be a subsidiary of Toyota, as Dave Medina going to pit from way far back in the field. He did not get that caution that he wanted. I wonder if Medina's going to try to do anything cute here to try to make up time. I'd assume just take 4 tires, keep it simple. But this race has not gone Medina's way so far. I'm sure he is excited for that stage break, but if there's one thing we know about that driver of that 9 car, it's that you can never count him out. I've seen him 3 laps down and win races, so this is not over by any means for David Medina yet.
No, it is not, and it looks like he's going to take 4 tires. So it looks like some guys further up in the
Brenner.
field. Yep, David Brenner, Jake Johnson also going to come down pit road this time.
And nothing is enough for Kyle Lynott to want to pit until now. Here comes that end suicide 988 right there. Lynott with 52 laps completed under green, or not under green I should say, but in the lead mostly. So great start to this race by Lynott. I think, Joe, this is a 4-tire situation. Keep it simple. Kevin Kyle going to follow him in as well, but we'll keep our eye on Kyle here. That's confusing, Kyle and Kyle, and see what happens. And so there's 2 for Lynott, and I'm assuming we'll see the other end of that car come up we will. So 4 tires for Kyle Lynott. Going to keep it simple. We'll have to see where he cycles through. I think the leader of this race is going to be Joe Volpis eventually once this all cycles through. But like you said, Owens can go, I'd say, another probably 10 laps from here, maybe 7. But Kyle Lynott really just showed us just how far these cars can go. And there goes Volpis blowing the doors off of Lynott, as does Volpis. I'm sorry, as does Duvall, as does Buell, and he's going to come out right behind Jared Kelly. So a net loss of 5 positions for Kyle Lynott to leave that 980 out for as long as he did. But he is going to be a lot faster than the rest of the cars here, as we see Mandela bring it out of the pits as well. Mandela also was running along much like Lynott was, so that is going to be interesting to see. And looks like he's going to get passed by Volpis as well, but he may come out in front of Lynott.
Yeah, so he took fuel only there, did not take any sort of tires, so he's on the long strategy here. Going to try and save that set of tires for later in the race. It looks like he's seen the way that the tire fall-off is and feels like he'll be able to hold on to his position pretty well.
I figured, why not? Someone's got to do it. Mandela was running well. That's the only thing that would kind of detract me from it if I am Mandela in that situation. But now is the time to try it early in the race where there's still time to recover if it doesn't work out. And like you said, you'll have that extra set of tires. But he does not get to do what Kyle Lynott is right now, which is just absolutely flying through this field as he passes Buell with ease. Mandela will be up next for him. And that really is a difference. That's how much it was. Fuel versus tires. That's all it gave Mandela, because here goes Lynott, and this is going to be an easy pass for the 988 as he's already working his way back through the top 10.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to make this pass here for 7th, which will be virtually 3rd on the track once everything cycles through. You can see Duvall just like about 1.5 seconds in front of him, and then Volpis is about another second in front of Duvall. Right now, 3 guys, though. Wayne Newman just came down pit road here, so let's take a quick look at him. He's putting tires on. Jose Medina's now coming down. I was about to say there's still 3 drivers that haven't pitted.
Jeez.
Now we're down to 2 drivers that haven't pitted. Here's Medina comes down. We got your leader, David Owens, who has not pitted yet. And now second place, Tommy Fox, who is running it long here as well.
And we know Tommy Fox got some opportunities to bring that thing in the pits. He got quite a few of them. So Tommy Fox probably has some extra fuel in that 57, as it looks like Owens is going to bring it down for another lap. Not going to bring it into the pits quite yet. Going to lead another lap here is that 8. Medina also in that beautiful race car, able to stretch it pretty far. We'll see how that works out for that 54 and what he does in the pits. I think he was throwing tires on it, if I wasn't mistaken. Yeah, it looks like it for how long that took. Man, I love that paint scheme, though. That's a good-looking gold and pink he's got in that car.
Yep, here he comes out of pit road now. Looks like he's going to cycle out into 11th. There goes Tommy Fox, who's on the lead lap. That is a lap car, I believe, that just passed him. So it looks like he's going to cycle into 11th here. Oh, no, Stephen Neal's going to get him last second, looks like, as well.
Ah, yes, that turd is going to get Jose Medina, and it looks like Kevin Kyle will too. But one thing of note too is Fox and Owens currently have all but themselves a lap down. They're the only cars on the lead lap right now. If there was a caution right now, oh boy, would that be a gift wrap for those 2 drivers.
Yeah, it would. And Tommy Fox still out here. He's still trooping it out on these old tires and no fuel. Same with David Owens as well. And right now it's working out for them. There are only 2 cars on the lead lap, but if they want this to actually work in their favor, they really, really need a caution.
Yep, and this Tommy Fox has seen enough. He's going to bring it down. I think the interesting part now, with only 15 until a guaranteed caution, is do you want tires? What do you want to do about that? We'll see how much longer Owens is able to bring it, or I should say leave it out there. I'd assume 1 or 2 more laps at most for David Owens, strictly out of fuel. I can't imagine him having too much more than Fox did, but we'll have to see, as there's another pass completed by Lynott as he gets by Duvall. So Lynott really able to take advantage of those fresher tires than everybody in front of him. Volpis will be next up for him. So the stage win still very much in the cards for Kyle Lynott. It's going to be a matter of what Owens decides to do in the pits and how long it takes him to get around Joe Volpis if he's able to catch him.
Yeah, you can see it looks like he's going pretty slowly on the track here. I think maybe he's looking at pitting this time, I would assume.
Yep.
Based on what we're seeing here. Oh, no, he's going to stay out.
No. Are we under caution? Or is he out of fuel? Because that thing sounds not at speed at all.
Oh, we
I
are.
see the pace
Look
car.
at that. Oh,
we are under caution. And everyone besides David Owens is a lap down.
Oh, no. That is...
Do you just
I have that ready for you.
Yeah,
I
what
have that
happened,
ready
Johnny
for you.
Replay? Let's see. What happened?
The whole field's a lap down. David Owens,
The whole
wow.
just don't pit. Just don't pit if you're David Owens. All right, what happened here, Johnny Replay? Let's take a look. Who are we looking at here?
We're looking at the 13.
Oh,
Oh!
we were looking at the 13. RIP. Is that Kevin Kyle?
Looks like it.
That is Kevin Kyle.
Kevin Kyle.
The 13 and the 31. They have one thing in common, the
Holy.
numbers. Oh, so close.
Oh, boop.
The 13 just like, hey, didn't appreciate that. One final boop, and they're going to keep it on track, it looks like. Both of them are. That was a massive hit for the 13.
I think the 13's going to have a long repair time in front of him with how far he lifted off the ground.
Yeah, Darby in the pits right now. Another really good-looking race car. Or it was, I should say. Currently getting that fixed with 31. Oh, and David Owens isn't going to be mean. Owens is going to pit and let everyone else back on the lead lap. So everyone's going to get the free pass here. But Owens, importantly, is going to maintain that lead. He's going to get 4 fresh tires. So he'll have the freshest tires out of everyone else by a long shot and the lead of the race. So, I mean, barring something going horribly wrong for that 8 car, this stage is all his to lose. Wouldn't you say, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, the only person that would be able to do something here would be Joe Vulpes, because he's going to take the lucky dog here. So if he comes and pits for tires, but if he does that, then he's only going to have 2 sets left for the rest of the race, and we're not even halfway yet. So I don't really think that's a viable option. So I think David Owens is going to be sitting with the clean air, sitting with the freshest tires, and should be able to hold on for however many laps we're going to have left when we go green. Might be about 10.
Why has that never happened to me, Joe? Why does that never ever happen to me?
That's a really, really good break. You know, as much as this kind of hurts Joe Vulpes here, it does help him a little bit, I guess, since he does get the lucky dog. He's going to cycle into second. It's not like it really hurt him too much. So sort of good luck. Not as good of luck as he had on Monday at Dover, where the cautions really fell into his lap to climb out of the hole that he was put in at the start of the race.
Yeah, not quite that good, but still very good stroke of luck. And another reason why I don't think you take those tires if you're Vulpes is Lucky Dog, to my knowledge, will be starting at the tail end of the longest line, where I think Owens will get to pass all these drivers and start in the front of the field. So even though Vulpes will be scored in second,
this is going to be the wave around, so he would still be in front of the wave rounds if he took tires.
You're right. So he could have, but I still wouldn't have. Limiting yourself to only 2 sets with 125 laps would be very scary.
Look at this. Look at it. It's literally the whole
The wave around, it's a race.
It's the whole field too. Just look on back. Look at everybody. Everybody's coming around taking the wave around. I mean, the
hear a lot of screaming.
Entire field is right now taking the wave around. Kyle.
This is hilarious.
So Kevin Kyle's going to be the first guy that doesn't get it because he pitted. It looks like he thought he could pull a fast one here. It looks like he's realized he's not going to be able to take it.
Yep.
The good news for Kevin is he's going to be able to start on the outside of the front row. The bad news.
So that's good.
The bad news is there's going to be about 20 cars lined up on the inside.
Yeah, and even if he took tires, he'd still have to pass Owens to get that lap back. So he's probably going to be focused on just staying as the lucky dog and getting to lap 75. Look at this, and this will be a single file restart behind David Owens. Like, this could not be better for the A car.
Really, really.
Yeah,
really
pace car's off, believe it or not. And David Owens is going to lead nobody on the lead lap, because that's Kevin Kyle on the outside of him, and Kyle is going to hope to just leave Owens in his mirror and check out if he can, but nope. Great start by Owens, and the most confusing restart in BRL history is underway as a single file group of wave around cars, some still catching up, going to green for a 10-lap shootout to see who will be the stage winner, the first ever stage winner in BRL, and David Owens has the perfect situation, tires and track position.
Yeah, he's also going to have Kevin Kyle between him and Joe Vulpes right here. So lap cars.
Oh, here goes Kyle.
Yep, they're going to play a factor, it looks like, here as well. I think Kyle and Knott got held up by the 808 there on the restart as well. So he's going to have his work cut out for him. As look at the chaos going on behind him.
Yeah, these guys, they started single file, but all that did was immediately get them more dicey. Looking to the inside as Buell going to be the meat in the sandwich here, trying to make that outside line work early in this run on his fresher tires. All different tire situations sprinkled throughout this field now, as we saw during that green flag pit stop cycle. A lot of different pit laps for these guys, so everyone on slightly different pace. It's going to be very, very fascinating to watch as Kevin Kyle has lost that battle with Owens, fallen behind Vulpes. So now it is just the Animal House car following the Gulf Coast Racing car of Owens. So this is going to be a fun little battle to watch.
Yeah, I just don't think I think the tire difference is just not gonna make it possible for him. You know, we haven't seen the fall off be that significant, but you know, at the start of the run, it's going to be very noticeable. And if we look at those last lap times right now, yeah, the last lap was a 30-40 for David Owens. He was a tenth and a half faster than both Vulpes and Kyle Lynott. So he's got a clear gap on pretty much everybody in the field right now.
Owens is going to be presented with an interesting decision at the end of this stage as well. He can take care of these tires right now and try his best not to put too much heater wear on them and just manage that gap back to Vulpes due to the more freshness he has on them. But with that caution and this only being a 10-lap shootout, I think it's in the cards for him to not take tires when they come back in at the end of this stage and maybe only take fuel and maintain control of the race. I doubt it would be easy to keep that lead against those who do decide to take 4, but that would still give Owens that extra set of tires for later in the race.
Yeah, so he's gonna have a very tough decision to make for certain. I do think though, with the way the tire fall off is, that I think going fuel only here might actually be a very viable strategy for him.
I'd agree.
And that would work out really well for him. The other guy that I'm eyeing that should have an extra set of tires as well is Ricky Mandela Sr. Remember, he took fuel only on that pit stop. He has not pitted again because, of course, he took the wave around. And I think that right now that's going to be Exhibit A for David Owens, showing why he shouldn't put tires on here. Because Ricky Mandela is on 70-lap-old tires, and he's battling with guys on tires that are, maybe 15, 20 laps old. And he's able to hold them off.
Right, Mandela clearly at what we've been talking about, kind of evening out point that these tires reach, where the wear kind of just seems to really just level off for pretty much the majority of the cars in the field, and air starts to become more important. And you're seeing that. We know Buell has far fresher tires than Mandela, but not able to make his way around him right now. A little bit of a traffic jam behind Mandela, but nothing too dramatic, and he's doing a great job wrapping the middle of those corners, keeping the momentum up, making himself difficult to pass. So you're right. That 3 would be all I would need to see if I'm David Owens to want to stay out there, maintain control of this race, and have that extra set of tires available to me if something was to go wrong late in this race, because that would be incredibly valuable.
Yep, and it looks like that battle for second starting to heat up here as well. Kyle Lynott maybe going to try and make a last gasp effort to get that lead back and win the stage here. I don't think he's going to have enough time or the tires to really get it done, but I think he'll be able to get second here in a lap or two.
I think so as well. Kevin Kyle has moved his way in front of them and try to get his lap back the hard way if he's able to in these next 2 laps. But if he doesn't, he will be awarded the lucky dog. So Kevin Kyle doing what he needs to. But right behind them, though, you see Lynott starting to peek that nose right to the inside of Vulpes. Vulpes doing a good job closing it off. He has 2 laps left to complete this pass and collect the stage points that come with it. I believe this field of 25 will be the top 10 collecting stage points here today.
Yeah, so top 10. Very similar to Wednesday's Xfinity Series, where it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and real life 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for your top 10. So those points are going to matter a lot, especially since there's no longer bonus points for leading laps or for the 0x incidents. So these stage points are going to matter so much over the course of the season. So right now, David Owens, the bone that he got thrown here might be huge for him, in terms of being in the right position points-wise at the end of the regular season.
Yep, and I think Owens might try to do a favor for Kevin Kyle here. He has the distance on track. He might give him his lap back as we take the white flag for the stage. Behind them, Lynott has completed the pass on Vulpes, so Lynott up to second place. He'll be collecting those 9 stage points if he can hold off Vulpes for 1 more lap. Kevin Kyle is right there on Owens. I'd be shocked if Owens doesn't get this one back. Just kind of like what we see.
That was the stage. It seems
and
that
the stage
came
gets
out
called.
Came out a lap early, so I think it's at the start of 75 or.
Yeah, it must
I
have
don't
been the
know.
start of 75, or the
don't-
completion of 74.
So I guess it's the start and not the end. That's good to note for
Oof,
the future, I guess.
brutal for Kevin Kyle.
Yeah,
But
definitely
he will get
brutal
that
for
lucky
him.
dog. So it looks like the stage finish or the stage order will be Owens with the stage win, and then Kyle Lynott, Joe Volpis, Jack Staval, Mandela, Kelly, Ashay, Buell, Neal, and collecting the final stage point will be Brenner. And just like you talked about, look at these checkups with this new pace car system. Man, that was close.
Yeah, hopefully these guys don't do anything where they really take each other out of the race. That would be really unfortunate if somebody did that under caution.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. That would be just terrible. We'll have to hope that doesn't happen. So now is where things get very interesting in terms of strategy for these guys. Who's going to want tires? Who's going to want only fuel? The guy we've been speculating a lot about is our leader, David Owens, who just got a Christmas gift way early on that pit cycle and now has an interesting situation in front of him, as I assume the majority of the field will be coming in for something here.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Mandela's obviously going to put tires on here. I think that's a safe bet to take. I would assume most of the rest of the field here will as well. I mean, if we're looking at guys, I think David Owens should take fuel only here if it was me. Most of these other guys, though, they haven't pit recently enough to really not do it.
Yeah, so Owens is going to, if he takes fuel only, he'll maintain control of the race, but he will likely lose that lead. It's going to be a matter of, similar to Mandela, how bad is it and how quickly can you stop the bleeding? Mandela was able to stop it around 5th place. As Kelly and Mandela get into each other, entering their pit stalls. Oh, God, close call there between the 3 and the 55, but both of them get in there okay. And, man, there's a car we haven't seen in a while. There's David Medina. He was only up to 13th place on that restart, Joe.
Yep. And it looks like we have a couple other guys taking fuel only. David Brenner's going to take fuel only. It looks like Stephen Neal as well is going to take fuel only. So those three are going to be on a little bit of a different strategy to everybody else.
Yeah, they are. So the top 3 are going to be just creating all types of mayhem when we get going green here. It's going to be Brenner, Owens, and Neal. I believe Owens and Brenner are teammates, so those two working closely together most of the time, or if they're not teammates, they're teammate adjacent. Always seem to be on similar strategies, so they will likely have a plan for how to control that front row. But one thing to keep our eyes out for is some tire spin from guys like the 8, the 22, and the 45 getting going here. Another thing we've seen since that update is the tire spin on these restarts seems to be a lot more brutal than it used to be. But couple wave around cars in front of them as well. It looks like everyone brought it down, so the wave around will exist here. So, Johnny Replay, what are your impressions of the Cup cars after 75 laps here at Kentucky?
They are fast, and I did not expect any of this. 70 laps on tires? I mean, I'm not on the same level as these guys. I would have probably pit on 30.
It always amazes me when someone can run 70 laps and still have the speed that Mandela had. That blows my mind.
Just seeing the same guys, like you have Lynott goes down to pit, and then at the end of the stage, he's back up there. I'm like, dude, how did you keep that with those old tires?
It is incredible. Lynott was out there for so long. I expected him to cycle so much further back when he came back out, and he just was clearly putting down amazing lap times. And Joe, I think the guy, I mean, you got to keep your eye on him as we get going green here. It's got to be Dave Medina, right?
Yeah, the David Medina fight back to the front has worked his way back to row number 6 here. He's going to start in the 12th position on this restart. So just outside the top 10. You know, after that huge half spin where it almost, if it didn't go the right way, would have ended his race, he was way back in 21st. So he's made up 9 spots since then, up to 12. And he's going to have a fresh restart here with the rest of the field. And on a similar strategy. So maybe he can work his way up here to about 6th, 7th place, catch another caution, and then he's back in it to win it.
Exactly. That's what I'll be looking for in that 9 and look for some exciting moves there. But we're going to have a lot of exciting moves up front with these different tire strategies. It will be David Owens on the inside, stage winner, first ever BRL stage winner, I should say, leading them to green. We'll see the restart he can get against Brenner. The 45 at Neal will also be on older tires. And here we go. Great restart, as always, from David Owens in the 8. Behind him is Brenner. Brenner did a great job on the outside as well. They are going to be single file through 1 and 2 already. It's just a matter of how much speed they can carry through these corners compared to the fresher tires. And look at Volpis using the outside 3 wide for the 11.
Yep, it looks like these guys are trying to make some crazy moves here on the outside part of the
Oh,
track. Look at them. They're all spreading out here down into turn number 3. Oh, it gets
Neil
really
drifts
tight.
up. Oh, you can tell who has the old tires there with the 45 nearly drifting up into the 988. That's going to open up the door for Duvall and for Kelly. They're both going to get around, but we're going to enter this 3 wide with Hachey. Oh boy, this thing is not over yet. How will Neil turn this time? Off the track he goes again, but Hachey is able to clear him. Oh gosh, this is close.
Yeah, look at how many positions he's lost, though. He restarted in 3rd place, and he's about to fall outside the top 10 here already. And we're barely a lap and a half into this run. So the tires for him have not played out in his favor. If we look further up, though, David Brenner is trying to hold on to 3rd place right now. So it looks like it's working okay for him. And, of course, David Owen's still leading the race right now.
Look at Duvall breathing on the neck of Lynott and Brenner. Brenner is making it work a little bit better. He's staying committed to that top line, trying to keep the momentum up, but this is not going to last forever, and you can see it in front of them as well. Volpus already starting to put the pressure on Owens for the lead. Volpus on much fresher tires had that brilliant restart to give himself that chance. Here goes Duvall looking to the inside of Brenner on the exit of 4. Brenner just not able to keep that same momentum as these fresher tire cars, but still fighting off that 84. We'll see if Duvall dives to the inside here and looks for that pass. Up front, though, here goes Volpus looking for the lead on Owens, and this should be easy work.
Not so easy. It looks like the 8's fighting back on the outside. He doesn't have his old tires either, though, so he's only got like 15 or so green flag laps on those, and it looks like, there it is. That looks like the great place to set up the pass. So you want to set it up where you get side by side down the backstretch, and then you just dive it in deeper than somebody on your outside or inside, however you're doing it, to get around to make that pass.
I agree, and a brilliant job of it there by Volpus. And then a little bit further behind, the Medinas are making some forward progression, but it's not the Medina that we were talking about. Jose Medina right now is up to 8th. He started side by side with David Medina, unrelated, and he's been the Medina making the most forward progression right now, doing a great job going through this field, already up to 8th place from the 11th starting position he had, and he is closing in on that 22 of Brenner, as well as you see Hachey and Kelly trying to negotiate their way around that older tire car right now. Those old tires right now looking like a rough strategy, but they can certainly pay off later in this race.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Neal, a little further back, has finally settled in somewhere in the field. Maybe not. Okay, maybe I called that a little too soon. It looks like he's still trying his best here to hold on, as it looks like he's also trying to hold on to his internet as well as he blinks out.
Yeah, exactly. He's got his hands full.
So, oh my goodness, we got some serious vintage going on here. Oh, okay, why don't we swap to the guy directly behind him?
Someone else.
Because there's a great battle going on right behind them here, actually. Jake Johnson, David Buell. It looks like we got Rick Modric. I see Kevin Kyle back there as well. These guys having a nice little cozy battle here for 13th place.
And you know Buell wants to be running further up the field than that, showing so much speed earlier on in this race, showing top 5 speed was Buell. So Buell working his way back through the field due to strategy. Looking a little bit more up front. I mean, everywhere you look on this track right now, we got some craziness. These guys want these positions when they're available, but Mandela and Shelton going at it as well. Mandela doing a great job working his way through this field again. Another one of those cars that we speculated may have an extra set of tires. So Mandela doing what he has to do, and up front, or in front of them, I should say, the Medina is starting to battle it out. It is go time for Dave Medina. He is up to 9th place, looking at Brenner and Jose Medina, and Jose Medina going to look to the inside of Brenner for 7th place. What a drive from the 54 here in the latter half of this race.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now making these moves. He's up to 7th. He's up 13 spots since the start of this race. Really, really good run for him here to start the season so far. If he can finish this off, that'd be a great top 10 run for him.
Definitely would be. Definitely, he was one of our AM championship contenders, and we have seen him start to get top 5s in the MRL and in the BRL, so it's been fun to watch success come that 54's way. Up front, Lynott kind of holding steady with that 0.7 deficit to Volpus. Volpus doing a great job in that clean air. And then in terms of those older tire cars and where they're going to settle in, Owens, as he does have a tiny bit of a traffic jam behind him, he's in 3rd place. So it's looking obviously the best for our leader going into this, our stage winner. But there goes 3rd place for Owens, as he's going to let Duvall at the inside there. Fight him a little bit, but Owens is doing a phenomenal job on these older tires. It looks like holding on to a top 10 before this cycle is over is certainly not out of the cards for that 8.
I think the tires are going to start evening out so much, though. I don't think he's going to drop that much further. This might be.
Yeah,
this
you're right.
might really be it. He might lose another spot here to Duvall, lose a spot to maybe Jared Kelly, and maybe Jake Shea. But with the way the Medinas are battling behind them, I think he might be able to pretty much hold pat there, maybe in 6th place when it's all said and done.
I completely agree, actually. And now you even look back at Stephen Neal when he allows you to, or when his connection allows us to, and he's even starting to make moves through the field now, working on Kevin Kyle. So these guys, I think, are definitely at that evening out point. You look at Brenner; he has got his 9th place solidified over there. He's no longer getting passed. He has Shelton breathing down his neck, but it's not kind of an open door like it was before. So yeah, I think you're right there, Joe. I think we are at that evening out point. Owen's not gonna, I don't think, make any meaningful progress on Lynott or Volpus, but he also should be able to maintain some good track position here.
Yeah, David Owens is doing a good job here holding on to 3rd place. It looks like he's got some battling going on behind him as well.
Yeah, he does.
Shea in that beautiful Pennzoil paint scheme going to make a move up into 4th. He might be knocking on the back door of David Owens for a podium spot here in a second, too.
Shades of Joe Logano, very little space given, an aggressive move there by the Shell Pennzoil car. And oh my gosh, he almost does it again. Jacques Duvall, oh man, did I have deja vu? And right in behind them was Dave Medina thinking, oh my gosh, he's gonna do it again?
Ooh.
Jacques Duvall, I mean, it's nothing intentional, I don't think. He just really shifts it into 3.
Yeah, he's really, I think that might be why he's been hurting on that long run there. I think that's what's going on, Zach. Is he's really using them up going down into turn 3, and in turn he's losing these positions on the long run. Because we saw him, he was able to stick with Kyle for like a good first half of the run, and then he started falling off hard. And I think that's why. Yep. Oh, the 52's wrecked.
Oh no, Buell is around. A bad day gets worse for Buell, and caution is out, and one of those wheels is no longer moving.
I think that's a race ender for David Buell. That's a really, really tough break after how good of a run he had going early in this race. Looks like Rick Modric was the other car involved because we see him coming down pit road here.
He looks just as damaged as well, and based on the skid marks, this was a violent one. Let us know when you have it, Jennifer. Hit it. Let's take a look. It looks like this was through 3 and 4. Oh no.
2 guys going for the same spot, and it just doesn't end well.
Oh, massive hits for both cars involved, and I think that will be a race ender for both of them.
That's
certainly for Buell.
Really tough break.
Yeah, Buell had so much speed in that car today. That is such a shame to see that happen. But for us up here in the booth, things are about to get really interesting. As Lynott with the fake, Lynott's not going to pit. Volpus is.
You know what I think's going on here? What I'm looking at right now is, let me see if I can pull it up for you, is we're looking at the amount of time right now in the session. If it would let me show that, that would be incredible. Wonder if I do this, it will let me show it, huh? No, it doesn't. Okay.
Weird. If you do like prioritize time, it's not doing it?
Nope.
Weird. So this is a timed race as well if we cannot complete the 200 laps, and that may be what Joe was just alluding to. That may be what people are thinking about here. They are more thinking about this is going to end on time, and I'm not planning for 200 laps anymore. So let me get those fresh tires on now, thinking that guys like Lynott, Duvall, and Medina are going to have to pit at some point before that time expires. Or maybe guys like Lynott, Duvall, and Medina thinking, I'm not pitting again this race. I'm going to try to run that timer out.
Yeah, looking at the amount of time that we've been in here, it looks like we're at 1 hour and 2 minutes on the racetrack so far. So we only got about 45 minutes of race time left here to really play with. And if this race goes green, that means we got about, if we go green from here to the end, we can probably go to about lap 185 or so. So right now, pitting here pretty much puts you in the window to make it on one more stop, since you can go about 45 laps on a tank of fuel.
So that is thinking ahead for guys like Volpus. That's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. Not to mention the 11 there, the first car down the pits, and didn't lose too much track position, only falling down to 9th place, and now he's going to have those fresh tires to boot. So that's going to be a good situation. I would not be surprised to see that 11 back in the top 5, if not better, quickly in this run.
So these guys actually, they all did a little bit different stuff. So Vulpes took fuel only. Shea took fuel
Mhm.
only. Ricky Mandela, even though he still has that additional set of tires, decided not to put tires on here, so he's really trying to hold on to all these
He
sets.
hates tires.
So he took fuel only. David Owens was your first guy to put tires on here. Then Brenner put on
Ooh.
4. Stephen Neal put on 4. Wayne Newman put on 4. And then Tommy Fox may have put on 4 or just got some damage fix. Not really sure because the time is a little out of whack for 4 tires.
I'd assume Brenner did, given that Neal and Owens were those two that stayed out, didn't stay out, did fuel only in the previous stop, had the oldest tires in the field. I assume, and Brenner was the other one with those two, so I'd assume he followed suit. But we'll find out quickly when we go green. So I stand corrected. Keep your eyes on that 8 car. He should be making his way through the field with a purpose here. Vulpes has had lights out speed, so tires are no tires. He'll be able to get those spots. But one thing I'd be worried about if I was in this field is who is running in 3rd place right now. Dave Medina is back up front. Or actually, they haven't scored a 4th, but he is on the inside, so he will be in 3rd when we go green here.
Yeah, actually, both Medinas there on the 2nd row. Great runs for both of them. Great recovery from David and a great run from Jose today.
Really is something about the last name, showing tons of speed here at Kentucky right now. So huge wreck to bring out that caution. Here we go again. This will be our, I believe, 4th green flag of the race, and Kyle Lanott's going to lead them off with another brilliant restart for that 988. Duvall on the inside trying to clear out that space, and Jose Medina with a brilliant restart on the outside following Lanott. He looks like he's going to be able to hold on that 3rd place over Dave Medina. Dave Medina still recovering there. Behind them, we have some 3-wide action with the Shea, and David Owens is not waiting. He is absolutely going for it already. Look at that 8 car.
Yeah, look at the chaos going on here. 3 wide right in front of him. Ricky Mandela, Matt Schofield. They're getting into it with Jake Shea. You got look at that. David Owens making that inside work. Man, these guys are all over the place right now.
This is insane. You would think this is the last lap with the way these guys are driving here. Owens trying to pick up these spots while he can. Like we talked about, that evening out point is coming. He still has drivers like Vulpes in front of him, so that's really who he needs to prioritize and make quick work of, are those guys that are on that same pit stop as him, but he has those fresher tires, but are in the same fuel situation that he is. Owens going to look to the outside of Mandela here. Up front, you still have Lanott leading over Duvall, Medina, Jose Medina, I should say, holding on the 3rd place with David Medina breathing down his neck, but Medina maybe just content to be in 4th right now, to be back in the running order where I believe he thinks he belongs. But man, those new tires, they're not quite as advantageous as I thought they'd be, Joe. This is interesting.
Yeah, right now they're not really doing much for these guys. And right now, I think that the first part of the run is where you really need to take advantage of them, in my opinion. Because once they level out, it's over. Everybody's going to be running the same pace. So you can see David Owens making a good move there on Vulpes. He finally gets clear of him. Let's see if he can get Jake Shea as well. Jake right now was the first guy on that strategy that pitted on lap 93. He took fuel only like Vulpes. So now David Owens has cleared both of them. So now he's got fresher tires, got the most fuel in the car. He's looking pretty good here.
Oh, in front of him is looking good. Oh, that's Shelton, and Owens barely escapes it. Oh, man, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Jared Kelly. Oh, I believe that was Shelton again.
Shelton, I think.
And that was Mandela initially. I'm sorry, that was Mandela initially.
Oof.
And I jinxed Shelton.
I think that last hit there is going to be a race ender for the 2 car.
Yeah, that looked like it broke a front toe link for Blake. I always say Blake Shelton. I'm hopeful thinking that we'll get the celebrity Blake Shelton racing in this league one day. But for Shelton there, let's take a look at that one, John. Replay. I mean, that's going to be a fun one to explore, because that was like a 2-part wreck, it felt like.
Yeah, I got it ready whenever you're ready.
Let's hit it. It was right in front of Owens. Yep, gets into... Is that Shelton? Yeah, it is.
Jake Johnson got into Sheldon there.
Jake Johnson.
Got him out of control.
That sends Jake Johnson around. Oh, and Vulpes gets a little bit into Jake Johnson. Big hits here, though. Big hits.
I think that was a
and now Shelton thinking,
with the 11. I think that's really a bad break. If you can roll that back, I think the net code is what sent the 409 back up into the track. I don't think if you... Yeah, look, I don't think there's ever any contact between the 11 and the 409. So if that never happens, the 409 is just going to slide down the track, and the second part of this wreck doesn't happen.
Right. Right. And that second part of the wreck really was an unfortunate part. Oh, look. So Owen's there. So, he's already sent Shelton around. Shelton getting into the wall there. Owens then a little bit gets into Johnson.
Yeah, I think
And then
Jake was trying to
Shea.
get off that 2 car, and he just backed up, and Owens wasn't ready for it.
And here comes Volpes. Already you could tell very, very slow, checking out for this wreck. So I agree with you. This is likely going to be
They never
huge amounts of netcode. Oh, man, they don't touch. And,
tough break
and
for
here
Mandela.
comes Jared Kelly.
And
yeah, Mandela gets a solid hit there. Kelly, massive hit. And then Shelton, who probably thought he was through the wreck and thought everything was over. Nope.
Oh,
Boom.
yeah, that's definitely a race ender.
Oh, brutal. Brutal for Shelton. Must feel cursed. And Jared Kelly, the streak of bad luck continues.
Yeah, it does. We'll see if he's able to get his car repaired or not. Very tough break for the both of them there.
Yeah, Kelly is currently getting his damage fixed in the pits, as is Mandela. Mandela looks like he's going to be able to keep it on the lead lap, and that 3 is actually looking better than you'd think. So we'll have to see how much speed he's able to keep in it, but I'm not seeing any horrible damage to that 3 anymore.
Nothing visible.
Looks
on
pretty
the front
good.
end there.
So that's good for him. And looks like there is definitely some takers on pit row that time around, as no longer up there are either Medina. They are now in 11th or 12th.
Yeah, it looks like if we take a look here at the guys that pitted there on lap 100, David Owens looks like he came down to check any sort of damage, took some fuel probably as well. Jose Medina put some fuel in the car here. Looks like they're starting to notice the way the strategy's playing out. David Medina Sr., though, he took tires there, so he's going to have the freshest tires in the field now, along with Kevin Kyle as well. Those two both took tires. Schofield went with fuel only. Ricky Mandela, I would assume, took tires, or he just took his repairs.
So this thing is wide open right now in terms of strategy. A lot of different things going on. So we'll have to see who's able to make their way through the field, especially like we've been talking about early in these runs. That's when you have to get it done. Getting close to that evening out point on tires, as you see a little bit of a camaraderie there from Duval and Lynott in the front. These two will be controlling the front row here. Lynott has been brilliant on these restarts. Really been gapping by at least a car length going into 1 just about every restart. Got some new characters in the second row. Shea and Brenner back up front. One of those early cars to pit. Put some tires, or actually, yeah, we believe put some tires on it and quickly made his way through the field. Has a track position to show for it. And then by virtue of that netcode, Volpes with no damage, so he's still in 5th place with those older tires. So this will be fun to see what happens here. It's going to be Lynott leading them to green, Duval on his outside, but a good gap already for Lynott as they're lining up. So expect a good restart here for that 988. We'll see what happens. Yep, just as we predicted, Lynott off and away he goes, but a good job by the outside lane. Brenner and Duval working well together, and Shea kind of left out to dry. He's going to fall all the way back to 4th place there, but the outside lane being used a lot more as the sun's starting to go down. We are under the lights now here at Kentucky, and as you can tell, that outside is coming in.
Yeah, it is, and look at that.
Oh! Nice save by Brenner.
The 22 and the Joey Logano paint scheme were side by side, and it almost ended bad for both of them.
The irony.
Good save there. That could have been way worse than what it was. It looks like Brenner's going to carry on into 3rd. Jake Shea's going to fall to 4th out of all of that. And then you got a battle for 5th. Joe Volpes is side by side with Stephen Neal. Right now, looking at those tires, though, there, Zach, right? We're talking about guys on freshies. Right now, Stephen Neal, he did take fresh tires on that caution on lap 93, so I think that's why he's fighting so hard here, as well as Wayne Newman. And then you look behind them, David Owens, he was the guy that we were pointing out that took tires on 93, checked his damage on 100. And then, of course, behind them, Kevin Kyle right now is making moves on his lap 100 tires. But you know who isn't? That's David Medina Sr. He looks like he's playing the long game here. We all know how great David Medina is on a long run and really saving those tires. I think he's found his sweet spot to where now he's in a strategy where he can do what he's used to doing so much, which is taking his time, saving those tires, and then wrapping past everybody once they use their stuff up.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how you can't control Medina's pace. He's going to run as fast as he wants to, and this is definitely an instance of that. Medina currently running outside the top 10. He started alongside Jose Medina, and Jose Medina's already worked up to ninth place. He's been brilliant on these restarts, but two completely different agendas between the two Medinas, you can tell right now. And yeah, here is Dave Medina. He's going to start looking to the outside of Mandela here. This is really the first pass I've seen him go for since we've gone green on this specific run. Medina was just so patient on the inside, letting cars go around him, not seeming to care. So yeah, keep your eye on that 9 as this run goes on. If we get the green flag run that I think he is begging for, this race could completely change for him. I see Mandela look to the inside of Kevin Kyle.
Yep, right now these guys all took tires there on lap 100. So you can see Mandela and Kevin Kyle, they might be using their tires a little bit more, battling for this track position than somebody like Medina who's just sticking it out behind them right now. You look further up in the field, those tires that I was talking about, Stephen Neal, David Owens, and those guys, they've pretty much stagnated behind Vulpes for the time being. It looks like Owens trying to set up a move on the 45, but just not able to do it. But yeah, those tires have really stagnated right now. The top 5 have not taken tires since the stage break, and right now that seems to be the strategy.
Yeah, it really does. Neil has done a great job since they've gone green. He's been holding off David Owens for the past couple laps. Owens, we believe, also may have a fresher set of tires, so Owens should be a really, really fast car out here as well. And in front of them is Vulpes, making those older tires work for him, also using that fuel strategy. So he's doing a great job. But man, how impressive is Neil. And not only is he using that top line, he's going all the way up there, kind of doing a little baby diamond through 3 and 4, but he is using up the entire track, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't know if using up that much of the racetrack, though, is really good for the tires. Running the second line, I think running the second line, you're okay. But when you're using up all of this racetrack, I don't think that's really good for the tires long-term wise here.
As you see, Owens just saying, either one of you figure it out, as he gives Vulpes a bump down the backstretch. Vulpes hugs the bottom down 3 and 4, and wrapping the top again is Neil, just not able to get those runoffs that I think he'd like to, but he is doing a great job up there. But like you said, I do think that's got to be using more tire than guys like Vulpes right there, just doing a great job kind of slot carring that bottom line.
Yeah, and we're talking about how much dirty air has really affected the race. Well, look at this. Kyle and Knott on those older tires still than most of the guys behind him, except for the other guys in the top 5 with him. He's pulled over a second lead here on these guys, on these older tires, just with the clean air. I think Jake O'Shea had a moment there.
Yep, he did. Oh, man, if you can find that, Johnny Replay, Jake O'Shea out of 4 got ultra loose, went all the way below the apron, somehow saved it, fell all the way back to 8th or 7th place, 8th place here if Medina is able to complete the pass. But that's a lot better than a wrecked race car. That was a big moment for the 77 Shell Pennzoil car.
Looks like he's trying to hold on to whatever he can at this point. I think he may have overheated these tires, and now he's really starting to struggle. After running in the top 5 for a big portion here in the middle part of this race, he's now fallen back into the clutches of the Medinas.
Yeah, he has the Medina gang right behind him, and they've been working really well together. And like we speculated with David Medina, gave his tires a chance to cool off, gave his tires a chance to really be fresher than everyone in front of him at this point in the run, and he is being rewarded for it right now. Already back up in the top 10 is Medina, so it was a long run play by that 9 car.
Yep, and look at this. Stephen Neal started to make some moves. Maybe I was wrong about that outside. It looks like he might be able to get around David Brenner here for 3rd. So the outside is giving him some dividends, at least right now.
This is fun to watch for Stephen Neal. Every year, we see this guy get so much better. He was a round of 8 playoff driver 2 years ago here in the BRL, and showing why. Stephen Neal, so much speed in that 45 right now, and up to 3rd place. And yeah, the guys in front of him, he should be able to get if he can keep those tires underneath him. I think if I'm Stephen Neal, now would be the time to go back to the bottom, but he is not interested. He is married to that top.
Yeah, he is, and right now he's about almost 2nd and 3/4 there behind the leader, about 6/10 behind Duval, so he's trying to close that gap down, make something happen for himself. But Duval doing a good job holding on to 2nd place still. Kyle not doing a good job just maintaining the gap to all these guys behind him.
And things are getting spicy in Jake Shea land right now. He's trying to use that Stephen Neal line at the very, very top, as you'll see him shoot up to the top of the track right there, and Dave Medina trying to make the bottom work to get around him, but Shea doing everything he can to recover from that earlier slip up he had. And like you said, really had to take the time to get those tires cooled off. Those tires are going to be mad at you for at least a couple laps. So Shea had to wait, and now back to putting down some heater laps, trying to get back around Jose Medina.
Yep, looks like he's got the power of Pennzoil going on with that car again here. Going to make a move around the outside of Jose Medina here. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it stick, though, because the guys in front of him are starting to migrate up there, too. And that dirty air is going to start migrating to the second lane and make it a little easier for Jose on the bottom.
Okay, I think I have that replay ready for you. Let me
Let's take a look.
What you're looking for.
It didn't look as bad as it probably felt for Shea, so yeah, you probably found it. Let's see. Yep, coming out of 4 here, and you see him loose. Yeah, this is it. And below, look at how loose that 77 was. That thing was a millimeter away from shooting back up the track.
Yeah, I think, I do remember a time a few seasons ago where Jake Shea had a moment like that where he did end up overcorrecting it, unfortunately, and flew into the outside wall perpendicular. It was at Michigan.
He learned from that.
So he definitely learned his lesson and kept it going straight.
Vulpes has gotten back around Stephen Neal.
Oh, he's making moves back up into third place.
Wow.
I think that's the strategy
the
of
top
running
line.
just using the top line too soon. I think you really got to time it out to when you move up there and migrate in order to make the race play out in your favor. Because you can see Vulpes is now starting to run the second, third lane in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it looks like it's working for him. He's starting to close in a little bit here on Lynott and Duval in front of him.
Yeah, that's really the benefit of not running that high line early, is you can go to it late when everyone has used up their stuff and they're no longer comfortable using the top line. You might have something for it, and that seems to be the situation for Joseph Vulpes right here. So that is big for him. And that is going to be very, very helpful as this run goes on, especially if we stay green. Vulpes right now looks like he may be reeling in Duval just a little bit, but the main issue for both of them is neither of them are catching Kyle Lynott. Full second lead right now for Lynott.
Yeah, he's done a good job maintaining that gap to Duval. Duval is not able to really do much anything, it looks like, with his tires. So, of course, these front three, the last time they put tires on was way, way back on lap number, technically it was on the stage break, so it was lap 76. Because remember, Vulpes only put fuel in the car. The first guy on newer tires right now is David Owens. He put him on 93, and he's pretty much not really gone anywhere. The guys that have really started making the moves, though, lap 100 tires, Jose Medina up to 6th place, and it looks like he's starting to breathe down the neck of David Brenner for 5th. And right behind him, Ricky Mandela Sr. is going to go underneath Stephen Neal here, and it looks like he's going to take David Medina Sr. along with him. Those two also took tires on lap 100.
They did, and then we're getting closer. So about 80 laps left in this race, but scheduled for an hour 50. I think we're at the point where it's not going to be possible for us to finish this thing on laps. How much time do we have right now left?
It looks like we got about 25 minutes or so. Maybe
we're in the nitty-gritty.
Maybe a little bit more, so it looks like 27 minutes, I believe, is what we got left here, if my calculations are correct. No, 28 minutes, I'm sorry, 28 minutes left. So
maybe 60 laps.
We got, at most, it's about 30 seconds a lap, so, 28 times 2, so you got at most 56 here.
Yeah. So you got to start thinking about that. I mean, you're nearly in the window to the end of this race if we run these drivers. It may be time to bring it down soon. I think these guys can go for, if we stay green, 50 laps on fuel?
They can go
45?
45, maybe 46 or 47 if they can save it a little.
So that window is almost open. I think if you're one of these drivers and you're good at math, you figured out that this race is not going to finish on laps. So these guys have to have this in the back of their mind. Guys like Vulpes are going to be able to run longer than others too, and he's going to kind of have his destiny in his hands, plus a shorter pit stop with less gas he'll have to put in that car likely, depending on how many tires he wants to put on it. Also, you're going to have to think about, again, guys like Vulpes, if he can run this thing to nearly the end of the race to where all he would need is a splash, maybe that's a possibility. So there's a lot to play for here, and everything will get put in his head if there's a caution. But for now, these guys got to be doing that math, as you see Mandela and Jose Medina going for it for 7th place right there. What a drive. I cannot say it enough by Medina. He took those tires, he fell down to 12th place, and he is right back where he was before, carving through the field, looking like the better Medina out here today.
Yeah, but you know what? Don't count out David Medina yet.
You can't.
I think he's the shark in the water right now. He's only 3 seconds behind Kyle Lynott. And you know what? We're still coming up to where these guys need to go probably at least another 10 laps, I'd say, before we're safe to make it on one stop. So I think David's just waiting his turn here to really turn up the wick and make some moves, because we know he can do it just about any point in the run.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot take your eyes off that 9 car. He is capable of anything from anywhere. Behind him as well, you see Kevin Kyle trying to follow him around and improve his track position. Kevin Kyle, the owner of one of the sponsors of this league, the owner of KK Woodscapes. Whenever you get a trophy, whenever you win your next race, next pole, any accomplishment in life, hit up KK Woodscapes to get a beautiful one-of-a-kind trophy made. And also who makes the trophies for the champions of MRL, BRL, and the DDIRL. So we're very lucky to have him as a driver, person, and sponsor. But speaking of people that we are lucky to have, Jack Stovall is pitting early. Joe, this feels early.
I don't think you can make it from here. You're going to be at least, I think we're probably going to get about 175 to 180 laps in, so we're not there yet. Like, we got to go another few laps. Kyle Lynott's going to follow him down here. So these two are in some serious trouble here. I don't think they had enough fuel to go any further, so they're in some serious trouble to make it to the end of the race on time.
Florida not known for their math education scores, and I think we may be seeing it here as these guys, I think, are counting backwards from the wrong number. I think they think we're going to lap 200, and it does not seem possible. I don't think it's possible unless these cars get an extra 500 horsepower. Are we going to complete this race under last? But that would be the time to pit if we're going to 200. That might be what we're seeing here, Joe.
Yeah, that would be really unfortunate. If we were going to 200, though, this would be a good time to pit.
Great time to pit.
for certain, but it's not going to work out that way. So that's why you see the rest of these guys, they're still out here on the track. So right now, Joe Volpa's doing a good job. Him and Brenner on really old tires doing a great job to hold on to what they have. David Owens, little fresher tires, and here he goes. Here we go. David Medina, he's up to 4th.
He's here.
Like I said, he was just waiting his time to turn up the wick. And once he saw those guys start diving down, he knew it was time.
Yep, and now Brenner in a world of pain with Medina breathing down his neck, and Medina made insanely quick work of Jose Medina to get that spot. So Dave Medina making quick passes here as Volp is still using that middle lane a little bit. You see Owens trying to wrap the bottom the best he can. Brenner thinking the best way to hold off Dave Medina is to put another car behind me trying to get past Owens. Everyone feeling the heat of that 9 car right now, and he just came out of nowhere late in this race now, back up to 4th place, a threat to win it.
Yeah, I think we're starting to get like right on the cusp now of that window where you're going to be able to make it to the end. I'm looking to see if anybody else has come down pit road yet. It doesn't look like it. Lynott just ran the fastest lap of the race, it looks like, that last time around. Maybe a little angry at the way the strategy's played out, so he's going to go really hard here to try and see if he can get whatever he can.
Yeah, Lynott's going to need a miracle. I think they pit so early that there isn't enough fuel to be saved to even consider making it to the end. He's going to need a caution or something of that nature. So the only thing Lynott can do right now is just put in smoking hot laps and hope he can regain that lead and a caution comes out when he needs it to. Because, yeah, this thing is a little bit upside down here for that 988 with this situation that we're currently in. But up front, you see Owens putting a ton of pressure on Volpis, and there is the pass for 3rd. Dave Medina's up to 3rd. Oh, no.
Yep, and it looks like David Owens is going to go alongside with the 11 car here down into turn number 1. We got a lap car coming up in front of him. It looks like David Owens, looks like those tires are starting to maybe pay a little bit of dividends here for
Medina follows
Owens.
him through.
But yeah, David Medina's tires are in wonderful shape. Look at how fast he is compared to everybody else.
Look how much he backs up the corner, like Johnny Replay was talking about. The guys who are faster are backing up 3 so much, and look how much Medina backed up 3 right there to get that big run out of 4 to potentially give himself a run for the pass here through 1 and 2. I think Jake Johnson might play a role in this.
Yep, you can see the lap traffic there. Jake Johnson with a little bit of damage, still gonna get right in the middle of this battle. David Owens are gonna be able to maybe clear him, maybe not.
Owens loving this.
I don't know if he's loving having him alongside him.
Oh boy, this is close. And behind them, Kevin Kyle is making moves. I think, yeah, and he's back on the lead lap. So Kevin Kyle up to 4th place is the 31.
Yeah, that 9 car is looks like Team Fokum is on the march here. We saw, those 2 plus plus Ricky Mandela be the 3 guys that really made their moves by pitting on lap 100 for tires. And I think it's starting to pay dividends here for those 3. Look at that. Look at that run he got off turn 4.
That was what we've been talking about. That was disgusting from David Medina. There was nothing David Owens could do about that, as Medina's going to have the run into 1 and 2, the advantageous line, and that will likely be all she wrote. Medina back to the lead. Gosh, it took 137 laps. And oh man, we forgot lap 112 again. We suck.
It's, well, I'm sorry.
We love you, Dennis. We'll do one at some lap here. As Vulpes is bringing it down right now. So Vulpes has seen enough. He wants 4 fresh tires is what I'm assuming he's going to put on here. Yep, it's going to be 4 freshies for Joe. And this likely on time, not laps, will be enough to get that 11 to the end of this race.
What
just happened behind him?
Ricky had trouble getting his pit stall and is going to lose. Oh, he's still having trouble.
He was there for a while. Did he think they were doing work and they weren't? Oh, no.
I think that's what happened, and now he's starting to get service. That is going to be a loss of at least 20 to 30 seconds right there.
A self-inflicted pit road penalty for Mandela there, and look who just took 2nd place.
Team Fokum on the rise, like I said, saving them tires, pitting on lap 100 and making the best use of them. Kevin Kyle moves up behind David Medina, and they're starting to grow that gap. I think Vulpes saw the writing on the wall when David Medina got through and decided to come pit and make a response because he could make it from there on fuel.
When someone like Medina passes you and you're Vulpes, there is no reason to stay on the racetrack and keep doing the same thing he's doing because you're not going to beat him. So right call there from Vulpes. It's going to be interesting to see how long Medina wants to leave that car on the racetrack, especially Kevin Kyle behind him. But putting on some great laps, and I'm wondering if Kevin Kyle is going to want to try to undercut his teammate at some point here.
Yeah, I think the undercut is worth it because, the advantage you get is for like the first couple of laps, and then it evens out so fast that you want to probably really try and undercut these guys just a little bit because then you should be able to hold off on the tail end of the run.
I agree, and I feel like you're not going to long run Dave Medina, so the best thing to do is just to get in front of him and try to hold him off using air. You saw what it took for him to get by David Owens, just an absolutely brilliant move. So that's what I'd be thinking if I'm Kevin Kyle. But again, these 2 are teammates. We could see them pit on the same lap together to control the race. So see the 61, Schofield bringing it down, the 77, Shea bringing it down. So the pit's starting to get busy here. Stephen Neal going to bring down as well. Neal did a good job on those newer tires to get some good track position and going to try to hold on to it there. So all these guys should likely be able to make it to the end of this race here on time. But right now, it's going to be mostly about, I think, the 2 cars up front, Medina and Kevin Kyle, and how much longer they want to leave these race cars on the track and prevent that undercut from guys like Duvall and Lynott if they were to get that caution. But definitely Vulpes, who we know can make it to the end, and was right behind him.
Yeah, I think Lynott and Duvall are going to be in fuel trouble. Vulpes right now the first one out there that can make it to the end. You talked about how Tommy Fox might have been out of the race early. He's done a great job recovering here. He was running in 6th place there, it looks like, when he came down pit road. Going to take 4 tires here. And, just having a nice, quiet day. If he does the right things here on this last however many laps, I guess, going to have 35-ish laps or so. If he does the right things, he might get a top 10 for all his troubles today.
Yeah, it looks like Tommy Fox has just had a brilliant drive recovering from that earlier incident, which was a really big one. So likely had to drive a damaged car around for some of this race too, but has worked his way through the field and is getting rewarded for it now. I think a top 5 definitely going to be in the cards here for Fox. I like where he's pitting too. Still out on the track are Medina, Kyle Brenner, Jose Medina, David Owens, and that is the end, I believe, of that cycle. But then we get to Lynott, Duvall, and Volpis, and all the other cars who have pit. So only 5 leaders right now who have yet to pit. I'm watching Medina every lap, and it feels like he's always slowing down out of 4, but then he just keeps on going. So interesting. And if I'm Kevin Kyle, I would. Oh, here he comes, Kevin Kyle in the pits.
Kevin Kyle going to go for that undercut, and it looks like David Brenner's going to follow in tow as well. So those two are going to do a bit of an undercut here on David Medina. Let's see if the Medinas and Owens respond.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. If I'm David Medina or Jose Medina, that's all I had to see to bring it down this next time around and only give them 1 lap of undercut. And I think that's what... No, it's not. Medina's going to leave it out. It worked for Lynott earlier, but what I'm worried about, Joe, is I don't know if there's going to be enough time to play with on those fresh tires once he puts them on.
Yeah, I think that's a real concern for him, especially at this point. Unless he's maybe thinking about putting 2 tires on it from here. I don't know. Looks like everybody else has taken 4 tires. Looking at pit stops times. Yeah, everybody else is in the mid-teens for their last pit stop that have pitted already. So, maybe he's thinking about running long, taking 2. Or maybe he's thinking if he runs long enough that the tires equalize with everybody else, he stops losing time. And then when he comes out, he's going to be blazing fast for the last few laps of the race.
Right, that could be the strategy. I mean, he's putting down solid lap times right now, and he's definitely, out of the 3 that have yet to pit, the fastest by a long shot. But as you can see there, wow,
here we go.
He's not far off, 2/10, and here comes the pit stop. And he was only 2/10 that last lap, so this cycle will be very interesting. It's going to leave out only Jose Medina and David Owens. We'll see how much longer those two want to run it. Jose Medina going to get to lead some laps here in the BRL. That's awesome for Jose, and he deserves to in this race. But David Medina, this is going to be a fascinating pit stop. Does he take 2? Does he take 4? My guess is 4, Joe. But if you want to take 2, he'd definitely come out with the lead.
Yeah, I think 2 he'll probably come out pretty close to the front of the field. 4 tires, I think, is this call, though, if you want to go and really make this long run work. So let's see, and It's going to be 4 tires, so
it's
good
4.
call.
And that's going to bring in Jose Medina. He's going to come in as well. So now David Owens, the only car left, going to try to bring this whole field a lap down again. See if what he pulled off earlier this race can happen again. And Kyle Lynott right behind him wants no such thing. He wants his lap back. As Jose Medina is going to bring it in just barely overshoots his pit stall. It's going to slow him down by maybe about a half a second. Shouldn't be too bad for Jose, but not what you want in a green flag pit stop. Up front now, though, you still have David Owens. We'll see if he brings it down this time. He is not going to, but behind him is Kyle Lynott. So Kyle Lynott looking to get that lap back right now. Doesn't want to wait for that caution to happen again.
Yeah, I think and if he gets his lap back and then a caution came out, that'd actually be a huge gift for him with the way the strategies are going to most likely play out here. He'd probably have a good gap then to everybody else because there'd be some lap cars between third on back. So Kyle getting this lap back right here could be crucial if there's a caution.
Definitely could be. You're really starting to see that evening out point for somebody like Owens. But wow, Owens kind of missing the bottom there through 3 and 4, and that opened the door for the 988. That's all Lynott needed. He should be able to complete this pass and put himself back on the lead lap the hard way. Yes, he does. Great job by Lynott. But Owens is not putting down particularly slow lap times right now. So I see why that 8 is trying to stick this out as long as he can. And he's one of those guys, especially as we get deeper and deeper into this and the time starts to tick off. Don't be surprised if we see him take 2 or no tires.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
All right, here we go.
So Owens gonna, as usual, aggressively get it into that pit stall or into that pit row. Great job by him. One of the best in the business of getting on and off pit row extremely fast. So this is going to be the make or break it time for that number 8 car. He's been doing alternative stuff all race. Does it end now or does it continue?
I say he's going to take 4.
I think 4 as well. Because if you don't come out in the lead, you can't do anything about it with those 2 tires. So there's 2. And it's going to be 4 for David Owens, it appears. Yes, it is. So it's going to be Lynott who cycles to the lead and Duvall. But like we talked about, we do not think either of those two have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. So Joe Volpes is the first car that we are confident does. And he has a 2-second gap back to David, with David Medina behind him from there. So that is, I think, in my opinion, the race for the win right there is between Volpes and Medina, and Kevin Kyle with a really, really strong green flag cycle there as well, but not able to undercut his teammate in the 9.
Yeah, tough break for Kevin to really not be able to make it work. David Medina, though, has just been very, very good. He was great on that long run there, too. So I do think if this thing goes green, I think David's going to end up winning this thing on speed here. Done a great job, though, here to recover. Remember, he was in the grass in the first quarter of this race, way back, almost a lap down, back in 21st. And now he's pretty much in a position where he can choose his own destiny to win the race.
Yeah, this really could not have worked out better for Medina, and he didn't really need any luck for this one either. He just did it the hard way after that earlier incident. Was very, very far behind the 8 ball, but he's been patient, methodical, pit at the right times, and now he's going to have an opportunity to win this race. Like you said, if this thing does finish under green on speed, he's definitely going to have a shot at Volpes. Putting down the fastest laps on the track right now is Dave Medina, and starting to reel in that 11 of Volpes. But it's only 2/10 there, so about how many laps do we think we have left right now?
Looking at the time, I think we got about 16 minutes or so.
It's about 30-ish.
Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. That's actually wrong. We got 11 minutes. I'm sorry. I was miscalculating.
Oh, about 20-ish.
So we got about 20 laps left here in this race.
So, yeah, we are really in the winning time, so it's going to be interesting to see what Lynott and Duvall do. I think if you're them, you just got to run it dry and hope for the best. You can't really fuel save. I think that ship has sailed for both of those drivers. Their tires are older than everyone else's. There's really nothing those two can do right now besides just hope for a caution, as Volpes is reeling them in quite quickly, as is David Medina. David Medina really closing the gap on everybody.
Yeah, David Medina, the fastest car on the track right now, and he's showing why you cannot count him out of any race right now. He's pretty much closed the gap. I think he's going to be able to make fairly quick work of these guys, potentially. We'll see how hard it is. He's really been doing a good job being able to cut through that dirty air, though, and that's the big thing. If you cut through that dirty air bubble, then it makes the passing very, very easy.
Yeah, it does. And you see Joe Volpes just right now saying, where's that evening out part that everyone's talking about, as Dave Medina is catching up to him in a hurry. And these two, their tires are almost even. Volpes is slightly older, but oh man, you wouldn't be able to tell with how much speed is in that 9 car. And I don't think it's about tires. I think it's just about the driver right now. That 9 is lights out. He has that bottom so figured out. He's just able to hug it so impressively. And really different than other drivers that I'm seeing with Medina is he's not coming up really at all unless he wants to on the exit of these corners. He just plants his car in the bottom and just all the way around is able to hug it.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like he's going to be able to clear Volpes here out of 2. Now he's going to have to find a way around Duvall, unless Duvall pits here or something. I don't know. I think Lynott and Duvall are just going to try their best to maybe have a prayer in this race time comes out before they run out of fuel. I don't think it's going to work in their favor, though.
And you see not much Duvall can do about Medina here, and it's going to be only a matter of time for Lynott as well. So all the stars aligning right now for that 9 car, the season 12 champion, Dave Medina, multiple-time champion, and you're seeing it now why this guy wins so many races and championships here in this league. An OG of the BRL getting it done right now.
Yeah, very, very impressive recovery from him. I want to give a shout-out to a couple people further back in the field, actually, in the top 10. Jake Cachet, he's done a great job recovering from his almost wreck earlier in the race. He's running in 8th place right now, right behind David Owens, doing a great job right now. If these guys have some trouble with fuel in front of them, you might be battling Owens for a top 5 here. Right behind him, also in that battle, Matt Schofield. We haven't really talked much about him today since that early incident he was involved in. He's just done a really quiet job today, stay on the lead lap, and try and just stay out of any additional trouble. And it's cycled into his favor here. He's now up to 9th place. And then the other guy I want to mention from that wreck there on lap 1, the guy you thought that was out of the race,
I was wrong,
is currently in 10th place right now. That's Tommy Fox. What a great run from him here today. He's just a few laps away from getting his first top 10 here at Kentucky to start the season.
Yeah, look at Tommy Fox. You can't kill a fox, can you? He has just been so impressive today, working his way through the field, not letting that damage get to him too much, and he's on the way to a well-earned top 10. Behind him is Jared Kelly, and speaking of 10, he is 10 laps down after that earlier wreck. So Jared Kelly going to just limp that 55 around here. It's looking better now, probably got a lot of that damage fixed. But man, it has not been the day that 55 wanted or deserved, really, as he is going to start this season behind the 8 balls, someone who is always a championship contender here in the BRL. So that's going to be rough for Kelly, as he's still trying to get those laps back. If he tries hard enough, he can get 10 laps back for sure. And but yeah, a lot of really, really fun guys up front, guys that we don't normally see, but I think we might see a lot more of this season. All these guys clearly putting in the work in the offseason and showing it right here. And look at Medina, but some things never change, Joe, and that's David Medina being up front in the BRL on Sundays.
Yeah, he's getting pretty close here. I'm trying to see if maybe the time will start noticing how many laps. Right now,
6 to go.
It says 6 to go, but that's how many minutes are actually left in the session.
Oh,
so it's a little jacked up there. So we got 6 minutes left in the session. So technically, we got double of that right now. We got about 12 laps left in the race.
Gotcha. So Lynott just to hold off and somehow develop fuel for 12 more laps against David Medina. Yeah, we are concerned about Lynott's ability to even finish this race with that tank of gas. So we'll see what happens there. But I think his biggest concern right now is just keeping that 9 car behind him. And that is a tall task, especially with the fresher tires that Medina has. Medina has also opened up a nice gap to Volpus, 2.5 seconds. So if he's able to complete this pass, he can just drive away in the sunset.
Yeah, I think as long as there's no cautions, I think Medina's pretty much got this one in his back pocket right now. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes and keeps the car clean, no cautions come out, I don't think Kyle's going to have enough fuel here to hold him off.
That might be why you're not seeing a huge sense of urgency from Medina to complete this pass yet either. Kind of using Lynott's draft, letting Lynott do his thing. Maybe noticing that Lynott is running very, very hard to hold off Medina and saying, go ahead, buddy. I'm not going to give you my draft and help you out. Go ahead and run that car out of fuel. So that might be Medina's plan right here, is just to let Lynott kind of kill himself in this race. But we'll have to see. What would be your move, Johnny Replay, if you're Kyle Lynott right now? Would you just feel helpless right now, or would you be trying to hold him off the way he is with the 9?
You know what? I'd find a religion in this moment to help me push me to that final finish line.
I agree. And you can see Lynott doing everything he can to hold off Medina. He's really kind of trying to put a gap on him, using the air to his advantage, really playing the air game against that 9 car right now.
Yeah, I think the religion that Johnny Replay is looking for is the religion of Penske drivers, in specific Joey Logano's fuel tank from Nashville last year, in order to make it to the end of this race. But I don't think he's going to I don't really know if the fuel's going to matter here in a second or two. I think David's going to have enough pace here to make a move happen one way or the other.
Oh, and Lynott with a little bit of a slip up in the exit of 4, and that might be all you were talking about right there, Joe. To the outside looks Medina, and he's going to be able to roll this corner, I think, a lot better than 988 is going to be able to. Stuck on the bottom. Side by side they go. Wow, what a fight from Kyle Lynott, trying his best, but the run off the corner belonging to the 9 of Medina. Oh, big send by Lynott.
I think he's going to go for the crossover here. I think Kyle may have overcooked it there, and it looks like, look at that, there's the 9 with the huge exit.
Yup. Oh, that was probably what the 9 wanted to see, actually. That oversend by Lynott, and he knew exactly what to do with it. Just backed up the corner, drove lower, and away he goes. David Medina, about, 4 minutes away from another BRL win, as a pit stop there from Jax Duvall. And I think we could be seeing something very similar from Kyle Lynott in the next lap or two. That is brutal.
Yeah, it looks like he's, now that Medina's gotten around him, it looks like Lynott's starting to fall off a little bit here from Medina, and it looks like he's also going to leave some souvenirs on the wall as well.
Quite a few.
I think we're at that point though where Kyle's going to come to the realization that he's not going to have enough fuel. Because remember, him and Duvall, I believe they pitted on the same lap, if not maybe a lap or two apart. So I'm expecting.
I think Lynott was a lap later, so it should be very soon. Yeah.
And looking at the session time, there's still 3 minutes left in the session before it's going to throw the white flag. So that's another 6 laps. if he's got enough fuel here, I mean, he'll be pretty disappointed to get second, but it could be worse. But I don't think he's going to be able to save enough here. You could just see how hard he's driving. He was driving the car to try and hold on to the lead. I think that was the final straw on being able to save enough.
He would definitely need some Joe Logano type magic to make it to the end of this race, I think. Especially with, Duvall wasn't pitting because he wanted to. He had to there, costing him all his track position. So it's shocking me that Lynot's been able to save as much as he has. Already 3 laps more than Duvall with how close those two pit to one another. But, I mean, you have to figure that Lynot's going to run this thing dry. No reason to pit unless you have to. You never know if you're going to get that caution. So we'll see how much longer he's able to bring it out. But if he does have to pit, we're going to have Vulpes looking at second place then, and then Kevin Kyle looking at a podium.
Yeah, Kevin Kyle, though, is actually pretty much right behind Vulpes right now. He's done a good job closing back in on those fairly fresher tires here at the late stages of the race. So I think we're going to have a battle here for what I would assume is going to be second place here in the race here in a few laps. Kevin's really done a good job closing in. But I think Joe's right now doing a good job just throwing that dirty air around on his front nose to hold on to the position.
Yeah, at this point in the run with the tires that similar, you really can start to play that air game if you are that 11. But, man, we've seen that 31, Kevin Kyle, just be lights out fast on these long runs. It's been incredibly impressive. And they are really starting to catch Kyle Lynott. So I think Lynott definitely in save mode, probably clutching all the way around this track right now. Desperate to try to get to the checker flag. So he may lose that position if he somehow is able to make it. With how slow he's going to have to putt that thing around here. But we'll see with Lynott as he's bringing it around for yet another lap. But Vulpes still holding on to that third place against Kevin Kyle right now.
Spitting.
And Medina has checked out. Oh, man, he's out of fuel. Into the pits goes Lynott with what, like a minute 30 left or something?
Oh, there's less than a minute. I believe next time around, David Medina Sr. will be taking the white flag here.
Absolutely brutal situation for Lynott, who led so many laps, had the speed for Medina today. If it had just all stayed equal, instead is going to probably finish outside the top 10, likely a lap down. And up in the second place, you see Kevin Kyle looking to the inside of Vulpes. Can he complete the pass? And will they get the white flag this time around? Yes, white flag has been thrown, I believe. And Kevin Kyle is going to take second place away right in the nick of time and see if he can hold it off for one more lap and finish second place here. Vulpes will be trying to hold on to this podium. These two are going at it hard. And, man, Medina with a beautiful 4-second lead here. He was through the grass earlier. He has been up and down this field, but he's been one thing, and it's been patient and methodical. And it has paid in dividends for Medina. Oh, boy, that was close. But to start this season, some things never change. Race 1 of season 14 of the BRL, the Dennis Puckett Memorial, is won by David Medina in the 9 car. Second place will be held on to by Kevin Kyle. So a 1-2 finish for Focum Racing. Great job by that team. And Vulpes with his debut with Animal House going to bring it home on the podium. Great finish for all 3 of those guys. Brenner in 4th, and rounding out the top 5, Jake Ashay. How about that?
Yeah, great run from him. I think David Owens might have ran out of fuel on the track.
Oh my gosh!
And he's going to cross the line in 10th place. So he'll be the last car in the lead lap. But he was running in about 5th place there, so lost a lot there on the last lap, running out of fuel.
Yeah, that worked out somehow for Owens. What a job. And Medina with enough fuel to do a burnout, so no problems for him. What a job.
Just a great performance from here in the second half of that race to go out there and get that win.
And just hearing from Lynott now, that thing was empty, completely empty as he brought it down. Sweet. We have some actually guests we can bring in here with us joining replay. Let's bring in first our second place finisher of Kevin Kyle. Give me just a second. Hey, Kevin Kyle, we gotcha.
Who are you looking for?
You actually, believe it or not.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Awesome race today, man. That was, I mean, you kind of came out of nowhere there towards the end. Had a lot of speed early on, but not the running position reflecting it quite yet. But then those long runs started to come together, and that 31 was just lights out. So take me through your day today and what you had figured out there in the long run.
Oh yeah, man. The Turning Point Chevrolet here today was a great ride. We got caught up in some early incident stuff. No fault of Tim Darby. Just Tim was trying to get out of the way, and I turned him around on the inside, and then but really good. Felt good here at the track, and just whatchamacallit, traffic. Traffic was terrible. Like, just if you got caught back in traffic with dirty air, like everyone says, but that's part of the game, right? Like, I'm tired of people saying dirty air. It's just like part of the game. So just, we got to work with it. But it was, once you do though get clear, it's such a good feeling seeing, the pace take over. And then, but yeah, long run worked out. And then catching that, the time limit thing was a big deal too, because that's what helped us, like, hey, pay attention. We saw the message on it saying, hey, there's 20 minutes left in the session. Teammate Jake Shea there brought it up too. And then shout out to Brandon Shelton. He had a rough day today, but we all kind of communicated it, and we're aware of the time limit there at the end. It caught us off guard at first, but we were able to adjust. And yeah, man, it was fun. It was a fun race.
Yeah, that was one thing I was excited to talk about, was that time limit, because I think that did cost Duvall and Lynott a chance to win this race. I think they were doing math on 200 and not the time. So at what point in the race did you guys realize that this is now a timed race and no longer a lapped race?
I think we caught it, like, let's say, like, talking time-wise, because I can't remember lap number. I'd say like a half hour, like 30 minutes.
Okay.
This is when we caught on to what was going on, I think. And then Jake might even mention it earlier, because Jake's pretty good on information and looking at all the numbers and stuff. And then, but yeah, Jake definitely brought it to our attention and started mentioning it. And then we got and then I was trying to undercut David, but I think David just did a whole lot better job on pit entry. I know I was kind of struggling and kind of slow on pit entry, but no, David, congrats to him and Team Folcom and everyone a part of it, man. It was fun.
Yeah, huge day for the team. 1-2, that is massive. Great way to start it, and a great way to start a new season for you individually. So awesome job today. Excited for another season. Stoked I got to kick it off with you guys, and I know me and Gene's going to be incredible in the booth for the rest of the season. But great job over here, man. Incredible league you guys got going. And anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Zach, glad to have you back from your honeymoon. I'm glad you had a good time. And then just to every one of you guys, I know how much work it is to put these broadcasts in, and you guys do an awesome job. So just thank you for your dedication and commitment to putting these on. Look forward to me and Gene coming back. And like you said, shout out to Dennis Puckett. This is his race. This one's for Dennis and Charlie. I know we lost him too. So just shout out to all those guys. God bless you guys and everyone out there. And thank you, Zach. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kevin. All right. So that leaves one more guy to talk to, and let me bring him on in here. Unless we want to talk to Pulpus too. All right, Dave Medina, we got you.
Yes, sir.
Well, you may have heard in the broadcast, some things never change, and that's Dave Medina in Victory Lane on Sunday mornings. What a drive, man, and what a day for you. That was an eventful one, far more eventful than we usually get to watch with you. So that was a lot of fun to see you work your way through the field all day. But I guess take me through that first incident, what was going through your head, and if you had a plan to recover from that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, unfortunately contact, just difference in breaking points between myself and Duvall, and, just barely got to me, and, it was just enough to get the rear end broke loose. But fortunately, I was able to keep it off the wall, and I was trying not to make sure it didn't turn sharp right and snap on me and go back up the track. So, after that, it was just really trying to keep my head in the game and realize that, there is a stage. So just try to work myself back up as much as possible and get it to the stage, let it reset, and see where we can go from there. But, there's still going to be a challenge to trying to get through the field. So we really had to be patient and didn't want to force anything early. Just kind of let things sort out and try and pick people off one at a time when the opportunities were there.
Yeah, that was one thing we observed or kept saying about you today was patience, especially on one of those, the run that I would say probably got you your most substantial track position towards the end, the one that brought you from about 13th to the top 5. We saw you early in that run kind of back it down, let some cars get by you, hug the bottom. Was that all about just saving tires, controlling your race, and knowing you'd have something on the later end?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was about saving tires, and it was also just, again, being patient. I didn't want to force things, 2 or 3 wide and give myself a little room in case there was some contact. So, again, just trying to be the patient and saving those tires at the same time.
Yeah, makes a ton of sense. So, season 14 here. You're one of the OGs, multiple time champion. Last year, we had I guess we could say finally the coming out party of Landry, one of the best road racers in the game, and we all knew it was only a matter of time until it translated to oval. So him bringing six wins home last year, and then you just with an awful season, only 3. Oh my gosh, David! But what is your plan this season about Landry? I mean, obviously got to enjoy race with him today, but anything new for that Canadian and how you're going to handle him this season and what your expectations are for season 14 here?
Yeah, I mean, Landry's just a talented guy, and like you said, he made that crossover to oval, and just done a phenomenal job. So he's a challenge on both oval and road courses. So basically you just have to take a look at last season and the mistakes that I did make, and then errors that I did get caught up on. For example, this race last season, pace car came out, and I didn't get slowed down in time, and by the time the pace car caught up, pit road was open and I missed it. So that those kind of mistakes I got to clean up. But in order to have a chance against Landry, you got to basically have a perfect season to be able to contend with him.
Yep, or just keep buying him tickets to Europe. That will help too. But
well, that's not outside the question.
Yeah, that is. I couldn't agree more. You two have just been setting the standard of what it is to be a perfect race car driver, and it's been so much fun to watch. Great job today, man. Congrats on another win. Awesome way to start the season at a great track. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first and foremost, just remembering Mr. Dennis Puckett. This is one of his favorite tracks here, so it's a privilege of mine to be able to get this win and really dedicate this to him and his family. I wouldn't be part of this league if it wasn't for him and his brother. So appreciate everybody in the league just taking the time to pay a little memorial to him and remember him. So want to give a big shout out to Dennis. Also want to give a shout out to my teammates, Kevin, Kyle, and Jake. Those guys had another phenomenal race, today, coming home second and fifth. So great job by them. And then admins, I want to thank David Owens, Matt, David Buell, and Chris Morals, who's overseas. But all those guys jumping in. For the admin for this season. Some new wrinkles this year, so we'll see how it all plays out. Just have a mishap, today, and so apologize to everybody on that as far as the time allotted for getting all 200 laps in, but that'll be corrected for going forward. And then you guys up in the booth.
Oh man, the time thing was fun. I enjoyed it. No complaints up here. But yeah, thank you so much, man. Awesome win, and can't wait to see what you do next week and for the rest of the season. Congrats.
Yeah, let me give one more too. Kyle, phenomenal driver, and he raced hard there in that last stint, with him, and it's always a pleasure trying to race him and pass him and stuff. He knows just what to do to get that dirty air and try to make it difficult for you. So hats off to him. This probably would have been one of his wins if it would have went 200, but hats off to him. He's a great driver.
Yeah, I just did the wrong math today, did not. But you guys put on a show. That last send of his with the crossover by you was an awesome show you guys put on. That was really cool to see. But yeah, shout out Kyle. Definitely deserved a great finish today. Ran that thing totally dry. Well, congrats, David, and we will talk to you soon, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. So we weren't able to get Vulpes, but he did want to congratulate all of his new Animal House teammates, and he just talked a lot about how awesome Johnny Replay and Zach Panzarella are. I don't know why he said so much about that, but he just kept saying a lot of stuff about how cool we were. But a great run by Vulpes in third as well. He absolutely killed it, and had a great had it really all day, and kept that 11 car really in the top 5 solidly. So let's go through this whole field here. Dave Medina, our winner. Kevin Kyle, second place. 1-2 for Fokum again. And then got to fix that, Mr. Vulpes. Gulf Coast Racing no more. Animal House driver now, third place for Joseph Vulpes. Gulf Coast driver of Renner, however, comes in fourth place. Jake Shea, like we talked about a lot. Brilliant drive today. He comes in fifth. Matt Schofield, another driver with a really, really good finish and a really good day today. And Tommy Fox didn't finish in 10th, Joe. He finished in 7th. Look at Tommy Fox. What a recovery from the new Gulf Coast driver. Really giving his team all that they signed up for and showing why they brought him over there. Stephen Neal recovering for 8th. We saw him up and down the field today. He did a great job. Mandela in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is going to be David Owens out of fuel.
11th place, not out of fuel, was Wayne Newman. He unfortunately finished a lap down. He had a myriad of trouble throughout the race today for himself, but a good recovery for him to get 11th place. 12th place goes to Kyle Lynott. We saw how disappointing it was for him to not be able to make it to the end of the race there. Ends up 12th. Same with Jax Duvall in 13th. Looks like Jose Medina may have had similar trouble for himself. He ends up 14th a lap down as well. Then you got Jake Johnson. We saw how much damage he had from earlier contact. He ends up 15th, 2 laps down. Todd Dunn, a bit of a struggle for him today as well, 16th, 5 down. Jared Kelly, we saw the damage he got at the early part of the race there in that big wreck. He ends up 17th, 10 laps down. Tim Darby, we saw him. He was in the air, so great job by him in order to be able to finish the race at all. He ends up 18th, 38 down. And then you got your DNFs there, Zach. So you got Brandon Sheldon 19th, Rick Modric 20th, David Buell 21st, Zach Clausen 22nd, Paul Ferdiani 23rd, and Michael Sauer will round out the field here for your first race. And I think this is a good opportunity for us to bring up the points and show how much those stage points really mattered there for that first race.
Yeah, look at that. The guy who does not win the race, 3rd place, comes out with the points lead, and that is those stage points. Vulpes with a great stage finish, ran a great and clean race here today, and he actually is going to come out with the points lead, a 2-point advantage over Medina, and it looks like that's a 5-point advantage over Owens. So great job for Vulpes, and Owens, who finishes in 10th, comes out in 3rd in the standings. That is something.
Yeah, those stage points really mattered for those guys. Kyle Lynott, we saw how he finished in 12th. He ends up in a tie for 6th with David Brenner and Ricky Mandela Sr. So we could already see how much those stage points mattered just the first race of the season and how much they're really starting to affect the way the points are. Gives Vulpes the points lead, gives Owens 3rd place, gives Kyle Lynott a tie for 6th. And Jax Duvall also up there. You see him, he's in 9th in that tie, a 3-way tie with Stephen Neal and Matt Schofield. So those guys all on the good end of the cut line right now. There's nobody outside the top 12 that's won a race yet. So right now the gap between Tommy Fox, who's 12th, and Wayne Newman in 13th is only 4 points after the first race of the season, though, of course. So you can see all the way on back, Michael Sara is right now the guy that's going to have to climb out of the basement and really get a season going after his VR failure. You can also see how the teams are shaping up here as well. You can see Animal House Customs is on for Joe Vulpes in here. And you can see all the Gulf Coast drivers. You can see Euro Speed Racing with Matt Schofield there. The Ignition Point boys without Jason Landry this week. They're going to take a pretty big hit team points-wise. The same thing with Pony Up. They're missing out on Jerry Rose, of course, not being here this week as he was deep sea fishing. So he's not here for the race either. Those guys all going to take a hit in the way the team points look here after the first race.
Yep, and that's going to give the lead to Gulf Coast. And yeah, that is not surprising, especially after seeing how impactful those stage points were here today. David Owens, our stage winner, helping that team to a pretty sizable lead early on. 2nd place is Animal House. They are the ones who went 1-2 today. But that still was not enough to give them that team points advantage. Folcom they did not go 1-2. That was Folcom who went 1-2 in 3rd, Animal House in 2nd. Man, that is interesting. That really cannot say enough about how much of an impact those stage points are going to play. Then we do see Pony Up, Ignition Point, Eurospeed, and 7 Motorsports. Really, those guys just need more of their drivers out here, which I'm sure will happen, and some better luck for guys like 7 Motorsports. But a lot to play for still in the team standings. I think that we're going to see those 3 top teams fighting it out all season, and we saw how well mixed they are today. So that was awesome to see. This new point system, really, really cool. We're back to a straightforward point system as well here. No more AM and Pro. So that is, I don't really have an opinion on that. So that's going to be fun, though, to see these guys trying to match the likes of a Landry and a Medina, and it only makes you so much better to share the track with those guys. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see. Also, another one that stuck out to me in the standings was, Kyle Lynott. He finishes a lap down in 12th, and there he is in 6th, tied for 6th, we should say. So it really does go to show if you can put together a good race like Lana and Owens did today, all from start to finish, and even if you have some bad luck there at the end, it's still all to play for, and you can still come out of there with a good points day.
Yeah, that is so true. You can see Kyle Not led the most laps in the race. He almost led 100. So really,
Ugh.
really great performance from here today. Led the most laps by far. Unfortunately, not able to get the finish he really deserved though today. Talking about straightforward points and all that kind of stuff. I think we have a little bit more straightforward points going on tomorrow because we actually know what the system is. We'll know next week. Don't worry, we'll figure it out, guys. So tomorrow night, of course, we got Monday Mayhem Cup action over here on VRN Vortex Racing Network. Got Bonfire back on the channel as well on Tuesdays. So be on the lookout for that race as well as some more Truck Series action with the DDIRL. And Thursdays, we are looking for people to come help us out with Thursday. So please come help us.
Yeah, I want some people broadcasting the races I get to do. That's a fun league too. Thursday is always putting on a show, so hopefully we can put together a booth there. But right here on Sundays, I am happy to be back here, or happy that I got the opportunity to kick the season off, kind of reverse the way we did it last year when you guys got to start it with Gene and then went over to me. So that was a lot of fun here today. Johnny Replay, what was your experience like here watching Cup cars go around Kentucky for 2 hours?
So watching the Cup cars go around, you can't really feel a difference unless you're in the cockpit to be able to see what's actually going on. So it looks the same to me, but what I do notice is the level of like experience and how good these guys are.
Yeah.
From watching that, because there's, you see the last couple laps with Medina following Lanat, I would have never been smart and say, oh, he's gonna run out of fuel. I would have just been like, hey, I gotta pass him.
Yeah, it's 14 years of experience, right?
Yeah, so being able to come here on Sundays to be able to watch these guys, hopefully I can learn something. But
Oh, there's so much to learn, such a wealth of stuff to learn. I've learned so much from these guys up in the booth, especially the faster guys in this league are just unbelievable. Truly, some of the best in the world. It's a joy and a pleasure to get to cover this league when I do. So that was an awesome one. Any final thoughts from you, Smokin' Joe?
Yeah, just really excited for the season ahead of us here. We've seen some great racing already for the first race of the season. If it wasn't for the time limit, I think we would have went the last 110 laps caution free. Unfortunately, because of it, we only went about 80. So I think that's a really good sign moving forward, especially since we're going to Charlotte next week, another track where tires are going to matter a lot. And those guys, we're very good at racing together. So I think it'll be another low caution race as it was last season.
Yeah, I'm expecting another great show at Charlotte. This league known to put on amazing shows at that specific track. Another place that's going to welcome, like you said, a lot of tire conservation, but even more close racing, close corners there at Charlotte. So that will be next Sunday around the same time. You guys will have me and G in the booth over with Smokin' Joe, and who knows what other surprises we'll bring your way. But thank you all for joining us to get this Season 14 Bonfire Race League Premier Cup season started off here at the Dennis Puckett Memorial. We miss you so much, Dennis. Always thinking about you, and always an incredible honor to be able to play tribute to him at one of his favorite tracks and his home track as well. So thinking about him, thinking about his family, and just thanking all you guys there at home watching, and all the people who have made this league possible for 14 seasons now. Really cannot understate how much of an accomplishment this league as a whole is over here in BRL. But to start the season off, we got Dave Medina in Victory Lane, and this season 14 is definitely going to be a fun one. Next week, we'll be likely getting Jason Landry back, and that's when things will really, really get started. But thank you all for joining us here on VRN. I've been Zach Panzarella with Smokin' Joe and Johnny Replay showing us all the action around the track. And next week, you guys will have Mean Gene Money back in the booth, calling all the action in this amazing league. But until then, thank you all, and have a great rest of your Sunday.